is up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? How you guys been doing? What's up? Baby cakes. What's up, dude? How are you? I haven't seen you much. I miss you, man. Hope you're doing good. I actually think I've been following you on Facebook, though. Yeah, I've been seeing. Hope you're well. You've been doing lots of traveling. Can you hear me good? Hopefully this is coming through good. I dropped my phone the other day and put a massive crack in it. What up? And then I was getting phone calls and all is goof. That's goof, bro. So hope you can hear this. But how you guys all doing? Jason Bond, what's up? It's been a while. I have been super busy. And so this is sporadic. What's up? I'm live with Real Pain Talks with PSE Live, I guess you could say. Been super swamped, and so I'm sporadically doing this when I can. Trying to balance my time about, and it's quite a challenge sometimes. So, business and family comes first. Family and business comes first. So yeah, let's talk some badass coatings. Yes, I would love to talk some badass coatings at some point. I am going to bring a guest on in tonight, and maybe we'll get into that at some point. If you have any questions, shoot them up. If we see them, we'll try and answer. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on. Busy. Yeah, that's good, man. I'm busy too. I can't complain. Finding good help has definitely been the biggest issue. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's the Diet Pepsi. But yeah, we've been surviving. We've been doing our best with what we have and who we can get. And thank you to everyone that's working with us. Yo, thanks so much for your patience. I really appreciate, people being patient with us. And, we're doing our best with what we can. Let me see. And yeah, so like I said, I thought I would jump on and have a chat with a great friend of mine, someone I met through Instagram, who I've shared lots of chats with and had lots of conversations with. And the reason I just sporadically did this is, for one, because I really like doing this and I want to do it. And sometimes when I'm scrolling through the gram, I always see stuff from people that I've, created friendships with and stuff like that. And Henry's been one who we've been close. We shared lots of chats and shared a lot of the same life experiences. So I thought I would bring Henry on. You guys may know him from Paint, Oklahoma. I'm going to invite him on in, and we're just going to have a chat, Real Paint Talks PSE Live. I can't hear you too good, or maybe it's my phone. Can you guys hear me? We'll see once Henry comes in. Let's see how it's going. What's up, bro? Brother.
What's up, Dude? Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I can hear you good, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Nice. What's up, Henry?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, man.
How are you, man?
Winding down.
Winding down? You work today, right?
No, today I took off. Yesterday we finished the last large exterior of the year. Probably the last large exterior ever.
Really, hey? Nice.
I'm done with them. And then, so there was no point in going back, so we just took today off.
Nice. Yes, you did tell me that when I contacted you for doing this. Yes, so today and tomorrow off too, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Well, a couple of estimates, and I'm going to go back to the job site, but I'll probably take the girls and just show them, the paint job, and pick up one of my signs and drop off the "This house was painted by" sign. So.
Awesome, man. That's dope. Well, before we get too much into it, why don't you just give us a little rundown, who you are, where you're at, what you're doing, and then we'll just go from there, man. Like I say, I'm recording it for the podcast, so let's just speak to the world.
Hey, man. My name is Henry. I've been painting for roughly about 12 years on and off. And I used to have a career job for about 10 years at UPS. And for about 5 years at UPS, I was loading trucks and shit. So in between that time, I got off at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I just painted houses with my dad. Like every day, 5 days a week, just track houses, like these Indian built houses, like
Yeah.
native houses, and just going back to back, back to back. And then got a job driving full time. I did that for 5 years, and then I was like, screw that. I'm done with all that. This sucks.
Yeah.
And in between that 5 years of driving, I actually had a hernia surgery, and I was out for like 2 months. So in those 2 months, I was like, man, do I even want to go back? Like, should I? I might just start a paint company or something. And I started researching like what it takes to legally have a paint company and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work out. I went back, and then I was just like, screw it. So my wife and I created the escape plan, which was figuring out how to get out of there, right? And that's what we did. And so we like researched business for like 2 years, and just figured out what we needed to do and all that. And in that 2 years too, I kind of crept into this community
Nice.
here on IG, and I just started like watching everybody, seeing what everybody was doing, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. Because with my dad, it was just like regular brush and roll,
No
everything.
doubt. Yeah. So how old are you? Like, how old are you right now?
35.
So how old are you when you kind of started doing the UPS thing? Were you kind of out of high school, university? Like, where were you?
Yeah, so I'm from Miami, Florida.
Okay.
And I was living here for a little while, and it was like 2008 when all that crazy recession stuff happened.
Yeah.
And I was working in the oil field, not in the oil field. I was working in the oil company, making pipes for the oil field. And I just got laid off. So I went back to Miami, went to college. In college, I was painting on and off there too. Just like random shit, like for my aunts or for like random people here and there, just wall painting, just inside of the houses. And then when I came back here, what was the question again?
Just like what about whereabouts in your life was that? Obviously before you had kids, after high school type thing. So like you went to college.
Yeah, UPS, I was like 23, 24
No doubt. Hey.
when I started. Yeah. So like I said, those 5 years I was loading trucks from like 4 in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man.
And then from 9 o'clock in the morning, I would jump on wherever side my dad was on, and then do that till like 4 or 5, and then just redo it all over again.
Oh, good for you, man. So family was already into painting. Your dad's a painter.
Yeah, I got into the trades in general at 18.
Okay.
My best friend and I quit our jobs, and we just went up to my dad and was like, "We're gonna work for you," and he was like, I don't have any work.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, we were like, you better go get some work, dude, because it's time to go. So he did, and he started plucking work out of thin air. I mean, my dad was in construction for almost 20 years, and he worked for an architect that had all the trades in his own company.
Gotcha.
Right? So he had his own framers, his own drywall. Right? So my dad was doing that for 20 years with those guys and learned everything basically.
Oh,
so when my dad went on his own, we did like a bunch of remodeling, and of course everything involved painting. So I hated everything.
Yeah, because you guys were doing everything, hey?
Everything.
Okay,
I didn't like doing like drywall. I didn't like flooring. I hated roofing. Framing was kind of cool, but the only thing I ever liked was painting. I thought that was super cool. I understood it. I understood the concept. I understood what we had to do. I understood the prep, and I just liked it. I enjoyed it. And then I did that, like I said, for a few years with my dad. I went to college, and then when I got back here after college and I got into UPS, in that stint that I did at the 10 years at UPS, I was doing industrial painting with my dad for 4 years at a shop that was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty intense work, eh?
Well, the conditions weren't right. I've never been in that environment before, right? Like industrial painting, but just knowing about painting, I don't think that where we were at, like our booth and all that was right. I don't think it definitely wasn't OSHA approved. Like after those 4 years, someone did call OSHA on the company.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They shut the paint booth down for like 2 months, and then they ended up selling the company anyways. But anyway, my dad didn't have very much experience in industrial. I had no experience in industrial. But his best friend was the foreman of everything. And he did have a lot of experience in industrial, but he didn't teach well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he would be telling you what to do and walking off.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, so we had the big ass Sherwin-Williams protective and marine coatings book, because that's what we were doing. We were doing a lot of two-part stuff, a lot of industrial coatings for offshore oil rigs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we painted a lot of airplane simulators.
Oh, cool.
Which that was a lot of fun. But so anyways, I spent like the first 2.5 years only sandblasting in a big ass spacesuit with the air conditioned dome and big ass freaking like hole like 2.5 to 3 inches wide. And I just did that and prep, sandblast and tape and mask and prep and mix all the paint. And then my dad would just sling in the dungeon, man. We were just trying to like figure out, how does airflow work? How do we make this horrible booth work and all that? And we did. We messed up a lot. It was horrible, dude. There was a lot of nights I'd go home to my she wasn't my wife at the time, but I would go home and just be like, this sucks. You know, we are not getting it right.
That's tough.
Because the inspectors would come by and they would check millage on like every 3.5, 4 feet. And so you can't like not have the proper amount here and have too much here and just sand this spot and fix it on a 50-foot something, whatever it was, right? And it's like 8 foot around, and it's standing on, like, they make you repaint the whole thing. So anyways, it was horrible.
Man. Well, that was probably some good experience there. I've never done anything like that. My brother-in-law works at a company. He's like an electrician. And he talks to me a little bit about the paint system and the guys that do it. And he's like, oh man, it's crazy. And the stuff they're using is so toxic and yada, yada. But yeah, I mean, like, it's not the same. Like he said, he's like, these guys just put it on, you know, not to say that, they probably don't have to they probably have to like mill test it and all that as well. But he's saying, he's like, man, you should see some of the runs sometimes. It's just like runs, they spare over everything, at least at his shop. He's like, it's crazy. And they're doing huge, what do they do? Some sort of like generators for the oil and gas industry as well. Yeah. Yeah, but that's cool, man. I mean, that's cool. That's good experience to have. At least you can take something from it no matter what it is, and you have it in your pocket a little bit, right?
Oh, dude. If it wasn't for our rep, he was a Sherwin rep, an industrial rep. His name was Steven. He was like 6'6", huge dude. He basically taught us what we were doing. Yeah. Like, so it was just like basically learning from him the whole way.
Yeah.
All the way through. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then like about my 3rd year in, my dad had some doctor appointment kind of out of nowhere. I didn't even know he had it. I was getting off UPS, and I always got to the shop at like 10 o'clock, and we'd work till like 6:30. And around 2 o'clock, he was like, I got to go. I got to go to do la la la. And I was like, all right. And I had a big ass piece of sandblast and some like little pieces of pipe and some gauges and stuff to mask. So I was just like, I'll just kick it all day. And I just chilled in my thing. And next thing you know, the supervisor comes through and he's like, I need you to paint this airplane simulator.
Cool.
It has to go out tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to paint it. And I was like, I haven't even sprayed without my dad. Like, and he was like, yeah, but you know how to set it all up. You know what you got to do. Just do it. So one of the dudes came by that he's actually passed away now, rest in peace. And he came with the big ass forklift with the huge forks and just brings in the airplane simulator. And he could see I was just like trying to get my paint suit on.
Like, and
shit. The 3M mask with the pull away shield. And I was like shaking. And he was like, listen, dude, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be right here with you. I'll guide you with the light. I'll bring the forklift up and down. You got it.
That's
so I did it. It worked. It worked then. And after that, like, I messed up a bunch, and then I just kept sanding and figuring it out. So
aren't those the best lessons though, when you mess it up? That's like the best. That's the best way you can learn, man. Because then you're learning it and you're remembering it in a way that it's different than when someone just tells you. You're like, oh shit, like I gotta go sand that or redo it. Yeah, you learn fast, right?
Yeah, and up until like the industrial, I never sprayed. I was always brushing and rolling houses, like big ass exteriors. My dad had
Yeah.
us brushing and rolling. It was a delight if you brought a freaking power sander. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? With two 50-foot extension cords, and you're like, all right, so um, everything was brush and roll. So I never even sprayed a house up until after industrial and after UPS and starting my
Right.
own company.
Yeah.
As crazy
So
as that sounds.
so how long have you been at it on your own company doing your own thing?
2020,
2020. Wow.
January 2020, there was like a crazy winter storm,
Uh-huh.
and there was like a series of events that took place at UPS. And that winter storm, I was just like, dude, I'm not doing this. And my wife was like, we have everything in place, like finances, structure, LLC, like
The escape plan.
just quit. And so I called and I was like, I'm not coming in today. And they were like, all right, no, you got to come in. And I was like, actually, I think I'm just not coming in at all. Like, I think I quit.
Oh shit.
And then I called my main supervisor, my main boss, the
Yeah.
general manager, and I just basically had a chat with him. And he was like, I knew you weren't going to be here too much longer. He was like, you're better than this, anyways.
Yeah, man. If you feel something and you got something as a goal, like you just got to do it, And if like,
Yeah.
and it's okay to be, where you're at, but if you want more for yourself, if you couldn't do that, then fucking good for you, man. Good for you for doing it and taking the leap, because it's scary sometimes. And this is what I was saying before I invited you in, that sometimes when I go through and I see people that I've like chatted with, like we chatted so much, and then I see like what you're doing and I think about the stuff we chatted about before, and I think about like how much time has already gone by. It seems like crazy, right? So,
Great.
for everyone that doesn't know, I'm not trying to hang any of your laundry out, but like your leg was broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I
Yeah.
remember that, like we were chatting so much, probably because you were freaking also bored out of your mind, because your leg was like severely broken, and you have a small family and baby on the way, new company. And I just smile at that, because I start to think of when I was there, and I'm like, oh damn, like I relate to that so much. So how was that? You've been in it for 2 years. So like, did you break your leg before or like during? Like, did you like open up your company and then boom, you got hurt?
Okay, so we opened up the company January 2020. COVID hits, right?
Oh right, okay. Not to mention that, yeah.
Actually turns out to be a huge blessing.
Oh
Everyone's
shit.
getting everything painted, and as a new company, I don't know, it just worked out. My graphics team just pumped out like everything, like wrapped my truck, gave me all kinds of our company paraphernalia, and
Nice.
like just boots on the ground. My wife and I went everywhere. Realtors, construction offices, everywhere. I didn't care. We just went everywhere and said hi and dropped off a card. Work, 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 work. Last exterior of the year, October 2020. It was a 72-year-old Marine veteran, super
Oh,
cool guy.
nice.
I gave him an awesome discount because, like, for first year in business, everything was so cool,
Yeah.
and I had already interior work lined up. So I was like, I'm just gonna give this dude a huge discount because this area is super nice, and
Yeah.
if I can put the sign out there and let's see what happens. Legit supposed to be a quick banger, bro. Like in terms of an exterior, super easy, super fast. My wife was there with me. It was spray day. I looked up the watch and I was like, we're going to smash this out. I got the ladders all set up and jump up the ladder, my A-frame, broke my leg. Yeah. So, but the leg break actually brought me closer to all the homies here is the funny
Yeah.
part, because it just kind of like everyone sprung together and helped me out. And that was really cool. And then, like you said, I was bored out of my mind. So I just talked to everyone.
No, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm not trying to hang out your laundry. I just think about it and I'm like, man, like we chatted and you have a small family. You're trying to do something that that you can be proud of, that you're happy with, and you're taking a risk, and then you get hurt. Like, I can only imagine. Like, I just hurt my leg last year, not as bad as what you did. Like, you got hardcore surgery, and I could only imagine what it would be like, and that was another reason why I wanted to bring you on, because I wanted to talk to you a bit about, like, first of all, I actually wanted to pick your brain a little bit before I get too far on. When you first started out, so like, what were the type of things that you were doing to like market your company and stuff? Were you just doing that door to door? Like, were you doing whatever you could? Did you do any SEO stuff? Is there anything? I mean, quick little piece of advice, or just, maybe share some insight on what someone maybe who's in your situation would do to get work.
I had some G's in my 401k.
Okay. Okay, so he had some G's in his 401k. So you were good with your money you saved.
Yeah, and I cashed it all out and put everything in the company. So, but it wasn't too much, and I didn't know anything at the time really about like how to market or advertise. But I heard Gary Vee talking about Facebook and how everyone was going to be super pissed off later when it's not $5 a day anymore to advertise, when it's $50 a day to advertise. So I was like, what can it hurt, and you can dial it in and do like 50-mile range and all that. And that actually landed us like 3 jobs, very profitable jobs the first year.
Nice.
And then a local Fox 23 was having this thing where if you send in like a commercial, right, like a 1:14 commercial, they'll put you on TV. And so I did. And they put us on TV.
Oh, my God.
And that got us probably like one of our first, as a company, biggest exteriors. And a great client connection. But other than that, dude, it was just boots on the ground, really. Like, I didn't have a budget to advertise. Everyone's like, oh, get a website, and it's like a website's like $3,500. And so Instagram, I just pushed everything over here on Instagram, and I just linked to the Facebook to it. So when I was pumping ads on Instagram, it was going through Facebook. And then I broke my leg. And then after I broke my leg, I just got very personal on Instagram, right? I started posting like some recovery videos, and my stories was like always about something about my recovery process. And through that process, dude, I ended up meeting 3 people, one of which is someone who means the world to me. She's absolutely amazing. I thought she was a scam at first, bro. You know how you get like DMs and shit like that, and you're just like, whatever, It's like she's an older lady, so I was like, whatever. And then I just started noticing, like, throughout the time, she was always saying something positive, or always hitting like some emoji on the stories or something.
Right.
And one day she said something to me that just kind of took me by surprise. She was like, I'm very proud of you, with the baby coming and everything, this is very difficult, so keep it going. And I was like, maybe this isn't a scam.
Wow.
So I said, thank you. And then we just kept talking. And next thing I know, I've painted her exterior and her 2 daughters' exteriors as well. I'm like legit the family painter.
Dude, but that's honestly, that's what, a lot of my marketing and sales guys, they always tell me, like, some people don't like to get in front of the camera and put that stuff out there, but it makes like, it brings like a real person to the table in terms of like the marketing side. It's not just like ads and stuff. Now it's like you're seeing like a face behind it all. That's powerful, man. You know what I mean? People actually like that. They like a little bit. That's like, oh, like, this, it's building up this, this aroma that they can tell it's like if you're good or not, if you're bad. And some people really base it off of that. Some people are all about money. Some people are like, they just want to know price. Other people actually are more just like wanting to work with the right people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's crazy that Instagram could do that for you, right?
Dude, and these 3 people and that lady specifically are very, very established people.
There you go.
Retired, did well for themselves, and are very particular. they like a certain someone, and things done a certain way. And I think that's what attracted them to me, or whatever, is that I was just very personable, and I was showing everything. And then I started making reels. I was like inspired by the right painters.
Oh yeah, nice.
Aaron from Alpha Painting, Shay Turner, Brett, you, of course, and other guys. I was just like, man, these are cool, and so I just wanted to start making them. And all of the first ones sucked ass. And my little brother hopped on the team, and we started making cool videos. And I think that the reels have really helped me, especially because I was like, man, I'm kind of like done with making reels. I feel like all the reels I see are like washed out and like dumb shit, or all these dudes spraying a door that doesn't even look sanded. And, you know, like, I'm not trying to talk shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And I was just like, I'm done. And then my little brother was like, no, dude, like, our clients and the people around us that are watching, that's what they want to see. And they love to see what we do.
Yep.
So I was like, you're right, screw it. We're going to do our own thing.
Yep, you should.
Everybody else.
Absolutely, man. Because it's really, at the end of the day, for your portfolio, and if your portfolio hits a certain demographic and hopefully it's in your area, then you're doing everything you need to. You know, you're checking all the boxes off. So it's like, I think there's a lot of fluff in the numbers these days, and a little bit of oversaturation in all parts of social media, and that's bound to happen. But, you know, if you do it for the right reasons, then it'll work for you. And you've met 3 great people online that have helped, you know, helped you grow your business. You know, I remember when I first started going out on my own, I took this big job on, and it was a huge number for me at the time. I think it was like maybe 35K, like 30 something, somewhere around there, where I was like, oh shit. It was like my first, like, oh damn, like, you know, and it was only me and my cousin that I actually asked just to help me. Like, I didn't even really have like a crew or anything. I swear to God, man, it was just, I was doing side jobs, and honest to God, I thought I'd lost the job because I didn't hear back from these people for like 3 months. And then all of a sudden one day I got the email. I was like, okay, we've decided we want you to do it. And I was like, whoa. Long story short, by the time I finished and everything, you know, was nice and we became friends, kind of like reminds me of the same thing as you. Like, I ended up becoming friends with these people, great folks. I had to thank them. I had to be like, dude, thank you for giving me an opportunity to like they put their trust in me. And I was so young too. Like I said, I think about you all the time when I think about like when I was younger and family and kids. And I'm like, you know, I had those same experiences, and I was just like, his name was Mike. I was like, thanks, man. Like, thanks for trusting me with your 30 grand. Like, really, right?
That's a big number.
And it's not even like gloating or anything. I just mean, like, to me at the time, I was working by the hour and doing side jobs on the weekend. So when he was like, I want my whole house painted, and it was a big house, like a very big house, I was like, oh, wow. So I like did the numbers, and like, you know what it's like. And you're like even nervous with that number because you're not really sure. Right. So it's like, and then they said yes. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Oh man, hopefully I get this right. So it's like, I feel you.
Even more whenever it's a repeat client and you've had a great relationship with them through the job and after, because I have a few of them that I have a great relationship with now, that they get baby pictures and that we just chat, you know, that we just update each other. And then they want you to paint something else. And it's like, for example, the exterior that we just finished, you know, we painted the full interior in March. I did a bunch of reels on that one. It's that one that we were talking about, that 3-tier crown ceiling.
That's right. Yeah.
With those windows.
Yeah.
We did her full interior, so that was not a cheap interior, but I mean, the exterior was just ridiculous. There wasn't even much to paint, like much surface area. It was just the accessibility of everything.
Oh, crazy, right?
Everything was freaking stupid. I'm going to do the review reel here in a couple of days. But, you know, I was like running these numbers, and I'm like, damn, you know, like, I really have an awesome relationship with her.
Yeah.
Is it insulting if it's, you know, kind of an expensive number? But she knows what's all going to go into it, and they like nice things, you know.
Yeah.
They don't even blink an eye.
Yeah, especially if they trust you, they usually won't. But but I feel you though, man. That is a hard one because it's almost like you want to actually do them more of a favor and give them a more of a deal because now you become more of like friends, right? But yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. That's a
But
tough
you
one.
know where I have kind of figured out a little loophole in that is so this is our third year in business, right?
Nice.
Obviously I was out for like 8 months or whatever because of my leg, but for the third year in business, we did very well. You know,
Good for you, man.
my first year I didn't pay myself at all, like personally.
Yep.
Everything was reinvested from that year, which wasn't much. I mean, considering COVID, we did okay, but after breaking my leg and shit, you know. Um, and then the second year after I started working again was only a half year, and it was a crazy bounce back, man. Like, because the whole 8 months that I was down, I did nothing but study all you guys.
Yeah.
Like, are the ones that I consider the greats, right? Like that's what I love. I love that in sports, and I've been a martial artist all my life, and that's what my martial arts instructor, and he's my mentor now. That's what he did with his system. Was he just studied several different disciplines and kind of mashed them all together.
100%.
He created his own, and that's just what I started to do with the guys on here that I really respect and admire. I just started to watch everything and just break down and learn. A couple of the guys on here gave me the opportunity to go to attend Crank.0, which is like a
paint business conference. Yeah. How did that help?
Yeah, that was really cool, man. My wife and I learned a lot. You know, there was a lot of business stuff that just correlates with, doesn't matter if it's paint business or not.
100%.
But, the gentleman that owns that found out that some of the dudes on here put money together for me to attend and send me another email that I was like, is this like a scam or something? And he was like, I heard what happened and I refuse to be outdone. So I'm going to give you the Roadmap to Profit course, which, you know, it's a course. It's a course like everyone else's courses, right? Every course is $999 or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But his course is an $800 course. And so I was very grateful for that. I thought that was cool. And my wife and I, you know, took the course. We completed it.
That's dope.
And it was really cool because it's a lot of stuff. Like if you don't know anything about paint business and you are a painter,
yep,
you are a technician, you've been doing this, you understand paint, you just don't know shit about business.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would be cool.
Which I'm sure, I think a lot of people, even if it's not painting, like you were saying, I think a lot of people, they try and do it, but there's like a whole nother side to it, right? When it comes to this end.
Do I agree with like expensive ass courses? No, I'm not saying that. I feel like a lot of the information, because my wife and I did a lot, we basically went to Google College for business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel you.
We pretty much knew everything already. So I was like, okay. This is a wifey right here. Say what's up, boo boo.
Hello.
Hey. So does your wife work with you in the company, or does she have her own little thing too?
So before the baby, she was in the field with me. Of course,
Mama. See ya. Nice to meet you.
She went to school for drafting and machining.
Oh, and, cool. Nice.
She went to state for machining and then went to nationals. You know, this little petite blonde chick against all these big burly dudes.
Oh, no.
You know? And she won in state and then they went to nationals and awesome. They didn't win that or whatever. But it was a good experience. But so 2020, COVID, April, by then the company is like 3.5 months old or something like that. She got laid off. She was working in oil as well, in an international oil company. So she got laid off, and I was like, well, I mean, we own a paint business. So she was the one that started to create all the little ads and stuff, like in the beginning of my Instagram. She was doing all of that, and she created the whole structure, you know, and the filing system and documenting and developing systems, right? Which we did a lot of that when I broke my leg and stuff. But she was in the field. She was Bondo Queen. That's actually how we met. She was working with my dad, and when I got back from college, so she was painting houses and just doing all that stuff, you know, all the random stuff that my dad was doing. So that's how we met, and we just clicked and went from there. So she already knew how to paint, you know. And so she was Bondo Queen. I would have her Bond doing whatever,
Yeah.
or and front doors. She had front door duty
Okay.
because I was taking care of like the meat and potatoes and
Yep.
everything.
Yep. What's her name?
And Raven.
Raven.
Uh,
Shout out to Raven. Good job.
she's the best. She's awesome, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
man.
the reason. Like besides the escape plan, uh, she's the one that was like, dude, you don't have to do that crap. She's told me ever since we've been together for 9 years now. So, um, ever since we got together, she was like, I don't care if we're in a little shack, dude. I just want to be with you. I don't care about any of that.
That's
And I
amazing.
made really good money at UPS, dude. Like a lot of the drivers there, I had no idea even had like a smidget of respect for me until I quit. And they knew what I did. Like, no, I just didn't quit this for nothing. Like, I quit, and oh shit,
Yep.
you already had all this stuff going on. They were texting me left and right. I mean, dudes that didn't even have my number, I thought didn't have my number. I'm like, dude, that's amazing that you did that.
Yeah.
Like you had the balls to do what a lot of us won't do, because they all make really good money. Making up to here in Oklahoma, making over $100,000 a year, and all medical, like all insurances. And if you're married and you have
Full
kids,
benefits.
they're taken care of. You don't pay for a penny.
Over 100K?
I was balling, bro. I was driving a Hellcat and shit. I was having a blast, dude. We were vacationing and just having a blast, dude.
Wow. That's actually really interesting.
I never knew what any of that was like, bro. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, in the hood. One side of my family was super wealthy, and my other side of my family was very poor. All right, but the very poor side, we had nothing but love and laughter.
I
and
can only imagine. Yeah, for sure.
And stupidity. So I never knew. I knew what the other side looked like, but my grandfather was a very strict businessman and all that, and I never knew what it was like to have make that type of money and be young and no kids. So we were, my wife and I, and then her job was paying her good. So we were
double income, no kids, dinks.
It was stupid. We had a dope ass. We had a really cool apartment and all that, and the Hellcat. It was fun.
That's crazy. So for everyone that's listening, like, I think it's really interesting that you, like, what made you want to give that all up? You just said, this isn't what I want to be doing for me, for Henry, hey? And you just said, fuck it, huh? Like, what made you want to leave something like that? Oh, sorry, you said you got laid off? Or is that with the other job? Oh, no.
No, that was my wife.
That was your, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. So what made you decide to do painting?
Well, I think that at the end of the day, I kind of always didn't like UPS. Like, the money was cool, but I didn't understand. Like, I was always raised, like, nothing against my parents or anything. They did a great job, but I was always raised, I'm from an immigrant family, so a lot of my family is immigrants except for my mom. My mom was born here in America and then me, but everyone's just hardworking, right? It's go get a good job, get a 401k, get insurance, all that.
Sure. I hear you.
But my dad was like that too, but he was always doing his own thing. So, but I never knew, that I could like do anything, honestly, like I didn't have to, I was just thinking like money. I was like, shit, $30 an hour. Oh, then I can make $42 an hour, and then you can keep going up and up. And I was like, oh yeah. So I was just chasing that, and then I always hated the job. I never felt fulfilled. I always felt like it was just the same shit over and over again. Management sucked. Management,
you're just a number.
Now that I understand like business and systems and management,
right?
I was like, they fucking suck, dude. I'm sorry if I'm not.
No, you're all good, man. We're explicit.
I was like, they were horrible. They didn't get. Like, I was probably one of the best drivers there. Me and my best friend and a few other guys. But it didn't matter how good of an employee you were.
Yeah.
Right. You always just got more work or dragged down.
Yeah. No, a buddy of mine, he works for the city here, and it's the same deal. Makes good money. Pretty, like, fairly easy freaking job. And, but he's just a number, So, and that's the thing that he hates the most. He's like, if I just want to like take a week off, even if I pre-plan it ahead of time, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get that time ever. Like for that allotted slot. And he's like, I just don't like that. He's like, they don't care. It's like you're saying, it's like that you're just a number in the game,
Oh, dude.
Another spoke in the wheel.
easily replaced. Like, bro, some of the drivers there, like the OG
Exactly.
drivers, the veterans, they would be like, dude, because I was cool with all of them, and I kind of went around. I loaded all their trucks, and I would driver help all of them during Christmas and
Yep.
stuff. So I got to know a lot of them, and some of the older guys, some of the cooler dudes were like, they'll tell you straight up, like, dude, if you plan on having a family and plan on having kids, you should probably figure something else out.
Yeah.
If you want to be there, you should figure something else out. Because like they missed recitals, all this, all that. So it was a combination of two things. It was a combination of wanting to be able to like do my own thing and I don't know, kind of like prove to UPS that I think I could build something better and I can have I can like have employees and them love their job. And I know paint, you know.
Yeah.
After the industrial side, I understood architectural coatings were like a fucking piece of cake, you know?
You would.
Um,
At least the principles and stuff, you know what I mean? Like you're
the
learning
basic
stuff. Yeah, the
principles.
basic for sure. It's in there and everything.
Coming into the game now, like in 2020, like I said, like I was watching all you guys, like when my wife and I were in the business learning stage, and I was like, whoa, what is all this shit? You know, like
Yeah.
I never saw any of this stuff. You know, my dad was super old school. You know, like in the beginning, I didn't do shit but caulk and mask and scrape and sand. Don't even look at paint. And then you graduate to mixing paint, you know,
Yeah, no
and then
shit.
you maybe you can roll something here and there or something, but
Oh yeah. I remember we were always like, man, like when are you gonna let us like brush the ceiling lines? It's like, nope, you don't get to brush like the ceiling to the wall to the ceiling line yet. And you're like, that's like what you're like, you know, working for, like working up to. I'm like, you know, I cut some ceiling lines today, and you're like, yeah, you know. But I feel you, man. It's like I said, big things come in small steps. So you did all that, you left that, you took the leap, you're doing your own thing, you break your leg, you rebound. I love this story. You rebound, and now here you are, small family, third year in business, you're doing well. So what's it like for you now? Were you just like super hungry? I bet you were so hungry after like when you broke your leg. You're probably just chomping at the bit, hey?
I've always been a super high energy dude.
Yeah.
Very high energy. Right now, this is me, not me talking to you because we're on a live and shit. I'm toning myself down.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm very high energy. I just, you know, so, what was the question again? Sorry.
So just like you're now third year of business. Actually, there wasn't really even a question there. I was just like saying like you must have been chomping at the bit to get out there, and you were probably just raring to go, right?
I was freaking out, bro. So it was like I just figured I had to move all my energy into learning.
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, I just watched the shit out of you guys. I really, really, really do like Fine Paints of Europe. I know there's like a huge thing.
No.
Hold on. Listen. I'm friends with fucking almost everyone on here, right? There's some of the guys that I'm way closer with, like you, and I'm pretty close to a few of the other guys. I don't need to name anyone out, but that we just talk on the regular and talk about like life and shit. It's not just always like, hey, how do you paint this or whatever, you know? Or, but I was just like super infatuated with Fine Paints of Europe because I'm a huge fan of Chade. I think he's just a cool dude. He's a bro, you know, just like you are. And I just loved what he was doing. And then just started watching ZK and shit, and then started seeing like other dudes, like the homie Brian Shelton Painting and Gary and Sons. I'm sure I'm missing all kinds of dudes, but
yeah, there's
all kinds of guys that really inspire me in the FPE game. Fortitude Painting, he's freaking awesome. And I just was like, I want to do this, you know, and no one around here is doing that at all. I think I have like one homie, Jason, from 405 Coatings. Shout out Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That's the big bro right there. He's another dude after I broke my leg that was just always there, like for you know, like for me to talk to me about.
And he lives in your area?
He's in Oklahoma City, so that's like I'm in Tulsa. He's like 2.5 hours away.
Okay, that's not bad. Nice.
Yeah, and then there's another dude out there there's some company I know that's using it in Oklahoma
Yeah.
City. I don't really know the company, but in my area, I'm the only one. And I say that like I've done a bunch of it. I'm still a fucking super rookie. I got 6 doors under my belt, with the 7th door coming up next week.
Yep. Yep. So maybe we can chat about that quickly. How are you finding, is it something that's easily, like, is it easy for you to sell where you are?
No, nobody knows what's going on here, right? And I've heard everything here is not basic, but a lot of it is. A lot of it's just hardworking people. You know, it's very country out here, but I actually just moved to Tulsa. Like, I just moved out of my mother-in-law's house, and I've been living there ever since I broke my leg. So that's one of the achievements of this year, is being able to bring my family into our own spot. But
props to you, bro. I know we were chatting about that for sure.
Yeah.
And it's there. Now you're there. Boom.
I feel good, bro.
No, you should, man.
Yeah, some cool shit's coming, so I'm excited. But this area, actually, where I'm at, like, there's a lot of money here, right? So, anyways, I always hear, you hear people say, like, "Oh, that market's not here. We don't have that market here." Create the market, bro. I was like, nobody knows about this here. I mean, look at like where Chade lives, dude. Chade lives in a super small town in Texas somewhere, dude. Very small town, from what I understand. You have to do it somehow if it's something you want to do, right? And it's just something I wanted to do. So I pretty much just started to, when I was doing an estimate and stuff, if I really liked the person, if I thought that they were super awesome just from the get-go, and then from the whole process, and they were going to have their front door painted anyways, I just put the paint up on my end and the labor.
Just upsell?
No.
Not even. Oh yeah, you just that's good for the portfolio, bro.
Exterior. Yeah. Like, what's the exterior going to cost? No, I was taking the chunk out of the paint myself. It's like $160, $180 a gallon for the primer and the top coat. So you're talking $360, $380, $400.
But you're getting so much out of that. Like, you're getting a shitload out of that by doing that, because you're, it's like free advertising for you to have this masterpiece on this front door. People will talk. They're going to definitely spread the word, I feel you on that, bro. Definitely.
Yeah. It's been a really fun process. I really like the paint. The first 2 doors were horrible.
Yeah, it's learning curve.
Yeah, it was like, not like, I usually spray a lot of doors with like DTM and Command and stuff like that. Yeah. I just like that on a front door. I like it better than house paint, like siding paint. Nothing against anyone else. It's just what I like. So like, I ran everywhere, dude. I made those doors cry, bro. They were weeping.
Really?
Horrible. I don't know what I was, and I actually had a conversation with Chade about this, and he was like, technique. You're doing something. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's that process elimination game, man.
Yeah. And Chade is a man of few words, but the few words that he tells you, I was like, shit, I'm definitely messing up somewhere, and I found out that I was boxing out the door, and so I was going too heavy every time I was spraying the door, and just that universal primer, the uni primer, the waterborne stuff, it doesn't like that. So, and it was a stand-up door. I was spraying it, installed. So
vertically, yeah. Paint doesn't like overlaps too many times, right? Some stuff.
And this door had like crazy profiles right on top.
Yeah.
So it was horrible. Definitely the 3rd freaking coat of primer. The first door I did was for my graphics team. We traded like half the money of their exterior for like gang load of stuff for the company. And so I felt kind of like no pressure, because they love me and they're very sweet people.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship. But after the 3rd time running on just the primer, I was like, I suck.
Yeah, it's learning curves though, man, especially with those types of products, because they're finicky. They're very finicky, and environments and everything. It's, so much shit.
Zach from ZK calls it like high octane. And in a can, or horsepower in a can, or something like that. And I understand that now. But now being like 6 door in, I understand the process.
Yep.
I understand it's like just several coats of prime, fill, sand, follow with the light. And I did this white door for the lady that would just finish the exterior. When we did her interior, it's just the garage door that goes from the house into the garage.
Yeah.
So no one sees it. Like, it's
Yeah,
not a front
absolutely.
door display. In white, just extra white.
Okay.
But it was a 26-year-old door, super beat up. And so I was talking about the loophole, right? Was all I did all year was I charged accordingly, right?
Yep.
And I'm not going to get into a bunch of personal shit, but it's just been a crazy year personally with my family and just illnesses and stuff like that. So what I found to give people even like 200% better work than what I'm charging them for is I just started taking out all of my pain, sadness, and anger on the work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And there was a few houses where my brother and I were completely alone. Like, they were just gone for a month. And we would just blast the music and just scream and sing and just go crazy. So
I feel you.
A lot of my clients this year got like freaking A1 superb work because I just had to let it out somewhere.
Yeah.
And those doors and that white FPE door was like my third door, and that was the one where everything clicked. I was like, damn, I understand now. And it came out so beautiful, and I was like, damn, I made a 26-year-old ugly ass door look amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the product, man. I think it's cool. I know there's like a divide or whatever, but I just figure I'm just gonna keep using it because I like it.
Yeah.
And every time I tell my client about it and explain to them what it is and what we're gonna do, they freaking love it. Like this lady with the white door, she loves that door. And no one sees it except for her. And she loves it. You know?
That's what matters the most though, man. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah. And it takes like it's just learning curves, man, and just putting in everything you can to wanting to succeed at it. And usually it comes out like you come out on top. You just have a lot of learning curves as you go, And I don't think there's too much of a divide. I think it's just people. It's not a divide. I do know what you're saying, but I just think that it's just the narratives, right? It's social medias. It's shit gets crazy, really.
People that I highly respect, a couple of dudes that could care less about this shit, and I think it's hilarious too because I love these guys and I just think they're hilarious. So I don't care. It's not like I'm like, oh, FPE this. I'm not loyal to shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just like cool stuff. I like cool stuff. I want to do some cool stuff. I see some cool guys doing some cool shit. And so I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like the 2K thing, and it's, I think most of the time what I always end up scratching my head about is like, it never really comes back to the business, right? It's always like, good or bad or best or this or that. And I'm like, yo, like, what does this have to do with like business? Like if you made the sale on the high gloss store, that's all that needs to be said right there. I don't care if you think that it's not as good as this or that. And it's like, just whatever makes people money, man. So if it works for someone here and you can sell it there and someone can't do it over there and they're using this, fucking name. But it's always like that narrative, like this is the best, this is it, this is the be all end all. And it's like, sure, great, So the 2K thing is the exact same thing. And I think people shouldn't get so bent out of shape. It's just like whatever fucking makes you money, man. Just
And I'm not making any money on these doors. My 7th door next week is tricorn black. Finally, we've done 4 different blue doors, all 4 different blue colors, different tones, different shades. So I'm excited to do black. I think.
I don't know about that, man. I'd be very excited to do white, but high gloss black. Ooh, I'm not trying to scare you, but you already know what's up. You already know.
It's not high gloss. I haven't messed with the high gloss.
Oh, okay.
I haven't messed with any high gloss. The only FPE that I have used is all the same shit, and it's because I believe in achieving mastery in something,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay,
So
so
I
quickly
figured
before you continue, so what are you using then? Are you using it mostly for interior?
I've only been doing doors.
Oh, okay. So you're not using the wall paint and stuff like that.
I want to, but I don't have any of it here, which isn't an excuse because I know Chade gets wall
Yeah,
paint
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
the time, and so do other guys. But um, I don't know, like some of my interiors this year, the way that they kind of came up was just sporadic because I
Right.
had exteriors scheduled for all year, and so the interiors that came up was just like filling in. So I didn't have, you don't have time, and it's kind of hard to sell that because the wall paint's, I think, pretty expensive. I mean, I know that they
So
compare it to like some domestic wall paints at like a $90 price range or something, but
right.
shit, I don't even barely use $90 wall paint, you know?
Well, hey man, I think I have, but I mean like at the end of the day, it's usually pressured by like a designer or someone that's like, I just need to use this. Like, no, it has to
I
be
mean,
this.
we use like Emerald, Sherwin
Yeah.
Emerald, or Aura from BM, or we use like Cashmere and stuff like that, from Sherwin. I use good wall paints. I rarely even use like ceiling paint for ceilings because I think that that's just it's just cheap clay in a can.
Some of
It
it.
only costs a few extra dollars to do some flat, good wall paint on the ceilings.
Well, now that you say
Um,
that, but I think a lot of it makes me laugh that you say that because I think that way too. So it's like I don't complain if a gallon of paint is $90 because like I'm not really paying for it. I'm just more saying like, does it make it the best and give it this aura of like, oh no, it has to be aura or it has to be like this or that, and it's like, but I think like you say, it's like I don't really care. I'm not paying for it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, is it better? So a client asked me that because they wanted to use their buddy's paint store. So this is actually a real example. I say to the builder, I'm like, oh man, he wants to use his buddy's paint store to provide the paint. It's C2. Have you ever heard of C2?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, like I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? But he wanted to do it. Fine. So we get it. It was expensive, dude. And even like the price they were charging me for the recycling on the can, I was like, what the fuck? Like it was, yeah. Oh yeah. And I was like, okay. So then finally I knew it was going to come up and he's like, so what do you think? Like, is this good paint? Like, do you think this is like good? And in that moment, it just like came to me. I was just like, you know what? I'm not actually going to tell you if it's good because there's lots of good paint. I think the comparison should be like comparing the bad paint. Like people should be saying more to themselves, like, okay, what's the bad paint? And move that all aside as opposed to
Yeah,
trying to line up all like what's the best. Cause I said, I'm like, there's a
yeah.
ton of good paint out there. Like really.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it actually wasn't that great. Yeah, like by the time we'd finished, because we had to do touch ups with it, it's a new product. Like by the end of it, I was just like, fuck, no, no.
Horrible,
It was almost like a
horrible.
proving point of like, man, like, but hey, man, that's marketing. Shit sells.
Yeah. Luckily, since I'm primarily in the repaint game and we do light commercial and stuff like
Yeah,
that, I love light commercial jobs because most of the times the people aren't even there.
yeah, for sure.
So a lot of I have found out that a lot of my clients prefer to, go with what I think, and some of them come with like geared up with some knowledge already.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
looked
yeah.
up this, and sometimes it's like, well, I actually like using that, so yeah, let's go. And sometimes I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and do this? Because listen, I'm not I'm not upcharging you on price per gallon. I don't do that with my clients,
Neither
and
do I.
it's like a weird thing to bring up when I'm talking to like I'm trying to sell a job.
Well,
But
like, how
at
do you
this
go
point,
about that? Like, has anyone,
I pretty much tell them, I tell them, I tell them that I don't upcharge per gallon, that I give you my price, that nothing is hidden nowadays. You can walk into a Sherwin store and look at the price tag on the gallon of Emerald and just go on the Sherwin app and create a contractor account, right?
oh, yeah.
Go on shop, and go look up some paint and see that we're getting it for, you know, much cheaper.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Especially if you
I
have a
tell
good
people. I'm like,
record.
why don't you just use it as a selling point and be like, hey, man, I'll get you my discount. You're not paying like full price for paint. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are painters. They do know that, but I think there's some out there that are just like, no, there's no way I'm fucking paying that much. I'm like, so if you did charge $90 a gallon, would you still present it like you only paid $40 for that gallon? Because that's kind of
Oh,
shisty. You know what I mean?
that's shiesty, yeah. That's very shiesty.
And I think I would sense that I think some people do that, because like they could get away with it, but I never do it because I'm like you. I'm like, if somebody ever called and said like, hey, like how much is this? And if your price is more than even what the client would pay at the store, then like that's dangerous. That's bad. That's not good.
Well, and that's why, my wife, when we started the company, she was like very, very big on communication and full blown transparency with the
Yeah.
clients, no matter what. So, like I said, everything, you can't hide anything. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I tell people all the time whenever we're talking about like process, like if it's an interior, what's the scope of work? Okay, this is going to be our process, or exterior, or whatever. I tell them, you can look all of this up. You can look all of it up on Google.
Yeah.
You can look it up on YouTube. If you sift through some of the BS, you'll find everything I'm telling you is the proper way to do it. And then if the other estimates that you're going to get, if that's not going to be the process, I can assure you it's probably not going to be the best way for your home. It's just whatever you want. Like, I sucked at selling in the beginning. I was so nervous, bro. Whenever I quit my job and my wife would leave to go to work. So after I quit, I spent like 2 months just like getting everything ready, right?
Yeah.
And after that, I was going to go and start hitting the streets. Dude, I felt like I had like an elephant sitting on top of me. I would look at the apartment door and I was just full blown anxiety, panic attack. Like I just couldn't go. I couldn't imagine going and talking to someone. And then I just learned throughout the past 3 years, man, that a lot of people in my area, they don't want a bunch of fluff, man. They just want you to be honest. And I think I have a few guys in this area, one of that own paint companies, very successful paint companies, and we're acquaintances, we're friendly, we're cool guys. But I just sell on product knowledge, and I've actually beat these guys a couple of times on just product knowledge and process.
Yeah.
What I think is going to be the best thing for your home, right? And how we're going to go about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that builds trust. That builds absolute trust. Well, with that, so like what's it like for when you're busy and you guys got a lot of things going, like what's a week look like for Henry? Like are you kind of like boots on the ground, you're the guy there, or are you more running around, or is it like me and my guys where we do it all? You know what I mean? Like I do all of that while I'm working, you know what I mean? So like, cause I would like for you to share a little bit, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but what are some of like, the things that you do, to keep things going, to stay productive? What are some of your systems like? Like what kind of products are you using? Like you're on an exterior, like how does that look for you?
Yeah, yeah. So I do everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. My wife does all the back end shit that doesn't
Yeah.
get seen. QuickBooks. Making sure all of our shit's done, filing everything. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that really matters at the end of the day.
No shit.
And we just did call forwarding because it just started getting to the point where if I'm spraying and stuff, I was missing calls.
Yeah.
And then they'd leave a voicemail, and then I would forget to get to them. I
Yep.
saw that they called, and I just forget. So now she's doing all that and setting up all the estimates and everything. But basically, ending 2021 was really nice. I got back to work in May 2021, so ending it was really, really nice. And going into 2022, bro, pretty much we've been booked all freaking year up until November 14th, which is the week before Thanksgiving. I have something that week, and I don't have anything at the moment because we basically turned everything off. I mean, I don't even advertise much, you know what I'm saying? But I just stopped kind of putting signs up and stuff like that, even at the job sites, if we were
Mhm.
doing an interior and exterior, because we were getting so many calls from, shout out Larry, the manager at my local Sherwin. I call him Uncle Larry, man. He's the shit, dude. Um, in the Tulsa area, I was getting nothing, bro. I couldn't get any Sherwin paint. I'm not gonna say who, but one of the homies on here has contacts and had him check out what's going on in my area and found out that they were putting back like loads of all the shit that I was needing for all these bigger clients.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
of
the
course.
bigger companies and stuff. So Larry is in a smaller city that wasn't too far away from where I was living, and he was giving me, like, I don't know, we just clicked. And then he actually is friends with someone that is very inspiring, and I would consider a mentor to me on here. His name is Organic Finishes. He does like Venetian plaster and
Fuck yeah,
crazy stuff.
awesome.
He's an amazing artist. They knew each other, and so that just clicked. And he basically has kept us busy for 2 years, bro.
Wow,
I didn't realize that so many people go to the local Sherwin-Williams
100%.
and ask if they know a good painter.
Yeah, they do.
And let me tell you, bro, I've gotten some dope ass contracts just from that.
Yeah, shout out to
That
Larry.
man has helped me feed my family, bro. That man has helped me get where I'm at right now. That
Absolutely.
man has helped me, like between him and my mother-in-law allowing me to stay over there. I feel like between all the gear and everything, because I just reinvested everything into the company. Um, we've been able to, like, I feel like the company has equity. Like, we have equipment, we have dope shit, you know, and I'm not a big outfit. It's just me and my bro. So we have a lot of the sanders and all this stuff because for me, for us, I feel like it makes things way faster, way cleaner, way easier.
Yeah.
And we're pumping out cool stuff. So,
Do you find any of that stuff possibly slows you down at all?
no.
No, there's nothing where you're ever stopping to be like, okay, we're thinking about this too much, or this is taking too long. Like, continue.
Not because of the,
Not because of the sanders and the tools.
not because of the standards of the tools. No, like I know you saw that big ass cedar shake job that we did in May.
Yeah, the exterior one.
Yeah, that was 3 different structures: shed, garage,
Yes.
small, medium, large. It's like 5,600 square feet altogether.
Oh my god. And is there a lot of like boom work and stuff?
Yeah, I
Like,
was supposed to have a boom out there. It was raining. Everything
oh
was
fuck.
horrible. The grounds out there were horrible. Couldn't do it. Thank God I didn't do it because I completely messed up on the estimate. I've never done anything like that before, bro. You know, and
Yeah.
I know there's some guys on here that will probably lynch me for saying that, but I understand everything. You know, I understand what needs to be done, and I've painted for at least a solid on and off 7 years. You know, between house painting and industrial painting before I got into other careers. You know,
So
so
you mean like mostly for on the exterior game,
yeah,
essentially? Yeah.
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 There's no houses like that over
Yeah.
here, bro. Like a Nantucket style home. So I've never done a full blown shake shingle house that is 30 something years old that was never coated with anything. So it's just riddled
Oh
with
my god.
mold and black mildew and
Oh
buildup and all
fuck.
that. You know, so, and it was huge, dude. And the dormers were horrible. I had a widow's walk. A widow, you know what a widow's
Yeah, I
walk is?
do know. It's
Um,
called actually a pain in the fucking ass, is what it's called.
yeah, everything about the house was crazy, but
Oh, dude! Like right off the hop, as soon as there's any zoom boom work or lift work, it's like right away you know it's going to be either a quarter or double the amount of time to do it, just because of all the variables into movement and you're totally on another playing field when you're on a boom. And people
she,
don't probably they think like, oh well, you're going faster. It's like yes, once you get the rhythm going and you're kind of going, but moving
but
and
it has to be
planning.
like, and even then to go fast, it has to be like one big flat thing. Like we did that big ass church last year. There was just one big back wall. So you're just going all day. This house, so we didn't get the boom, right? Thank God, because I probably would have lost my company. I messed up on the estimate completely, bro. I did not charge enough. Okay. I spoke briefly with John from paint school, and he was like, oh, easily like 25,000 for sure.
Where were
I
you
charged
at? Oh.
12,
12?
250.
Wow,
And
that's
I just,
no. If you would have said like 6, I would have been like, oh fuck. But like,
at the end of the day, it didn't end up being the worst thing ever because I learned a lot. She was amazing. We spent 26 days there. It was fucking horrible to start an exterior in May. It's the dumbest shit ever here.
Yep.
Especially when you have 50 something, 5,000 something square feet of shake shingles to stain at some point. But we did it, bro. We did it. We had a bucket truck. Her brother-in-law was like some.
Oh, you guys got a bucket truck?
Yeah, he had a bucket truck.
Like
Anyways,
the telephone pole type shit? Yeah, nice.
He did internet shit like that. Yes, exactly.
Okay,
so
yeah.
he had a
Cherry
bucket
picker.
truck. And like you said, like there is no moving fast, bro. Not at that house because there's 30-something-year-old crepe myrtles in the fucking way, and like just pitch, and then a kick out, and then a dormer, and then that dormer's pitched. I have pictures where my homie was like pitched in the bucket truck with the dormer, trying to prep and stuff. But we only had that for like 5 or 6 days. She paid for the rental from, like, they handled that for me, thank God. But at the hardest part of the house, the tallest part of the house, the hydraulics went out.
Oh my God. While you were stuck up there?
Me and my brother were going up to spray.
Oh shit!
Everything just got prepped. We were like, all right, today's gone good. Let's go actually take a lunch. 3 years in, I still barely ever take a lunch because I'll schedule estimates throughout lunch. I'll just keep working throughout lunch. Like ever since breaking my leg, I won't do ladder stuff.
Yeah.
But because my brother, he always takes a lunch. That keeps him going. You got to have a break. So I'll just piddle around, pick up. Because ever since breaking my leg, I don't like to chill. If I chill and take a break, I'm worthless. So I just keep moving. But
I'm not exactly the same. But you know what? I found, and I mean, you could take this as advice, but the only reason I'm saying this because I know what it's like. I'm like you, like I'm hungry to grind. But the older I got and the busier I got, those 10-15s of actually just sitting down for a minute did wonders. It did, because I'm like you, man.
I take periodic breaks. I do take.
Oh no, and I'm not getting on you because I would do that all the time, every day. Even my guys would be like, "Dude, are you seriously not going to stop?" I'm like, "No," because if I sit down right now, I'm not going to want to go back at this tempo. Like really.
As a UPS driver, bro, for 5 years, I was in the union for 10 years. As a union worker, you're guaranteed your hour break.
Yeah.
In some states, bro, it's called a dyad, what you use to scan packages.
Yep.
In some states, bro, they'll shut that thing off so you can't work for an hour.
Just to make sure you take that break.
Just to make sure you're taking your break, but not here. And so I just never take a break because, and they don't pay you for that break. Like they take an hour every day, for your break, regardless. But I just wanted to get home. I was like, screw that. What am I going to do? Hang out for an hour in the stupid UPS truck? Like, nah. So I just got used to just grinding, bro. Yeah. And in a UPS truck, you're by yourself. So it's like if I want to snack on something real quick, I get my lunch or get something. So I just kind of carried that on. But like I said, after breaking my leg, like I don't like to chill. Because if I chill, when I get home, I'm daddy. I do the baby stuff. I help the wifey get things cleaned up, dinner, all that shit. Right now, when I get off with you, bro, I'm sitting down. I'm going to be like,
yeah. I was going to say, but is it still, are you the literally turn it all off family time right now, or is it still creeps on me all the time? Like I can't get away from it. From work and business. And I think it's a little bit my character too, that I really enjoy what I do. I love it. And I think that because of that, you get to those certain points because you're putting in, time that other people are wasting, so you're going to go a little bit farther. You're going to do a little bit more, but, I don't know. I like it, but at the same time, yeah, I got to take more time, and it does feel good when I do. But dude, you want to talk about anxiety? Give me a Sunday of sitting at home doing sweet fuck all. Now that my kids are growing up, and I'm like chomping at the bit, man. I can't just lay there. I can't. I
No,
cannot.
me either. No, and I force the family time because, I'm 35 with an 18-month-old.
Yeah.
So I understand the importance of it, and I've worked my fucking ass off all my life, dude. Nothing was ever been given to me, when I had the cool apartment and the cool car with
Yeah.
my girl, none of that was ever given to me, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure when I was doing that, I was making more money than anyone in my family has ever made. Besides my grandfather on my dad's side, he was a very wealthy man. But
Yeah.
so, anyway, just always moving and grooving, man. So I had to learn, and it was Edward from Protal.
Yeah.
We were
Absolutely.
talking. I can't even I can't remember what we were talking about, but he told me his dad, right? His dad, very respectable man. That dude's freaking awesome. He said, "Protect your weekends." 2 words, right? Protect. No, 3 words. Protect your weekends. I was like, damn, like that shit hit me so deep. And it probably wouldn't have hit me deep at all if I didn't have a kid. Because when my wife and I
Yeah.
started the business, I worked. I didn't give a shit what it was. Oh, it's Memorial Day. You're gonna come and pressure wash the house on Memorial Day? I was like, am I gonna be bothering you?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna be out at the lake. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't care about. I still don't really care about stuff like that at the moment because I'm like, we're building the business.
Yeah.
I don't care. Maybe when she's like 5, but by then the company will be 8 years old, and not hopefully, I will be where I want to be. So,
Yeah. Yeah. There, it's tough because now seeing like because how your daughter, right? Yes, daughter, of course. Yes, the big eyes. Yes, your daughter. She, yeah. Oh, crazy, dude, crazy. She's 18 months.
yeah,
Yeah. So when I think back to when my kids were 18 months, and now I'm looking at it now, I'm actually glad that I worked more when they were younger. Because I'm getting to a point now where it's like, even though it's harder for your significant other, especially if she's a stay-at-home mom, there's a lot of responsibility with a newborn baby. And God bless their souls, because I'm sure they go fucking nuts because they're dealing with stuff that we never have to see, But
shout out to my wife.
oh,
She's
dude, like I keep saying this, and there should be an episode dedicated to the wives or significant others, or actually anybody that's helped you. Well, I shouldn't say anybody, because there's definitely mentor help. But the reason I was smiling so big when you were talking about your wife doing stuff on the side and this and that is because when you have that, it's like that's what makes you like ready to just like because it's like you have like this team, and you're like, okay, this is being held down right here. You can focus. So shout out to that, because that's what my wife's helped me do. She's really helped me focus. But in a nutshell, I was just saying that my kids are getting busier now that they're becoming more independent. So I'm kind of glad that I worked a little more when they were younger.
yeah, and I could totally see that, and especially you were younger, right? So it was like different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now I'm like, I just gotta make this. I just gotta make it work, right? So
Yeah.
I've kind of just learned to, and I'm still learning, like I said, I've messed up a handful of times, like that cedar shake shingle
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
but I'm figuring out more how to price the job to where my brother's going to be okay. I can pay myself. The business is going to be okay. And I can take the weekends off. It's okay.
Yep.
And I work 8 to 5. Pretty strict about that. Because I want to be home for dinner, I want to be home to put her to bed, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I just want to. Now with moving into the new house and stuff, if there's something that comes up, like a sweet little Saturday gig, and I can make some cash money, I'm probably gonna go do that. But
for sure,
I think it's important to like figure that out. And it's difficult because I want to just keep going and keep going.
It is difficult, man. But I think at the end of the day, just doing what makes you the most happy is the best choice. Like like the Ricky from Ricky Torres. He's the Paint New York, Paint NYC. I had him on before. He's like, I don't care if they don't like it. It's too bad. Daddy's got to work. Daddy's got to make that money. And like, there's a big piece of me that's like a huge piece of me that's like that. But I'm like you, where there's a big piece of me too that's also like, well, time is precious, right? So it's like finding that medium, but it's also like finding your medium is found when you're just like, well, this makes me happy. If being at home, like, have you ever seen the movie Casino?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Dude.
Okay. So Joe Pesci's role, I always found it so, I mean, of course it's like fiction or not, it's a fake story. You know what I'm saying? But, but even though he was such a gangster and this hard ass dude, I loved how in the dialogue they said, no matter what he was doing, no matter where he was, he always came home to cook breakfast for his kid. And that to me spoke like such volumes, because I was like, damn, so it's like if you're like, no, well, I want to be home to put my daughter to bed. Fucking do that. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's the great thing about being self-employed though, right?
That, and I know you're going to like this, systems, bro.
Absolutely.
You gotta have the proper systems in place and implement them.
Yep.
And be able to adapt to changing conditions and have a stopping point. Right. And that's how I run it. And it's hard because like guys like us, like I don't want to stop. Especially like if it's like a big interior job, we're doing a 4-10 pack or something, like I want to keep going, but systems, Yeah. And my brother and I, we work very efficient. We work very well with each other. He's never really done any of this. He's been with me for like 14 months, 15 months. And I've just force fed him everything.
Yeah. He was like, just do it.
Instead of like the old school shit, where you don't even dare look at fucking paint for 2 or 3 years. I'm fast tracking this fool. I told him that.
Just like, here, do it.
He came on a couple of jobs with me, 2 or 3 days. I was like, I really like this, dude. Like, I like what we're doing. And he was like thinking about what we're doing. And he was just like, you have any room for me? And I was like, inside, as a young, like, new entrepreneur, I was like, no. But I was like, yeah, we'll make it work. So I just force fed him everything. So
that's
this
awesome.
dude, in 15 months, like, I'm not scared to say it, dude. In my area, as my apprentice, he'll fucking murder you.
No shit,
for sure. And it's because I know, because of what I see. I'm not saying that because like I'm just trying to talk shit about people around me. I just see. I see the work. I see what's going on. I know my competition. Some of my competitions are friends. Nothing against them. They're great. But my little brother's dope, man. And he's brought a really cool creative aspect to the reels. I really like making reels. We enjoy making them. And he's brought like a really cool cinematic aspect. And I've been trying to figure out how to edit to the music. And I don't do anything like Aaron does. He's fucking psycho, which is amazing. I love his videos. He inspires the shit out of me because he's so crazy. What they do, like, that's another thing. Like, what me and my brother do as a 2-man crew, I feel like we're murdering these 6-man crews out here. These big crews. Like, we're a smaller crew, and we still do way better work at a great time. Yeah. Compared to shitty ass work in a really quick time. Yeah. And that's what Aaron does with his brother.
Does Aaron work with his brother?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dude with the glasses and the kind of curlier, darker hair.
No shit, I did not know that.
That's
cool.
Always murdering with him in the videos. His brother's a freaking beast, bro.
That's awesome. Damn. Yeah, I work with my brother too. Yeah, that's nuts. That's wild. So do you think you would expand? Would you ever hire more people? Or are you kind of like the smaller systems and the smaller crew? And
nope, we've my wife and my brother and we've all discussed about bringing someone new for 2023.
Nice.
I actually just brought in this guy for this job to help us with masking. He only came in 4 out of the 5 days. He was late 15-20 minutes every freaking day.
Oh God.
left pieces of masking in the fucking tallest, worst areas. Man, this is like a, almost $1 million neighborhood, all these houses, Found where he unmatched, that cheap paper veneer siding, you know, that they put up on these houses that are just bullshit compressed board
Okay. Yeah.
underneath the
Yeah.
paper
Yeah.
veneer. It's very hard to prep this shit. It's very hard to make it look good and prep it, especially when it blisters, and get it
Oh, I can
nice for
only
top coat.
imagine.
His masking, I guess, was a little too tight. And at the end of the day, all of this is on me. I should have been watching everything, right? But he was coming to me like I'm a 7-year painter and
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah.
This is what I charge by the hour. And I was just like, I need some help
Yeah.
masking.
Yeah.
A little relief. Pulling masking in those areas and pull up blistering back to bare freaking compressed board in 2 spots. Didn't tell me shit. My brother found them. Because I sent my brother to go out and look at everything. Didn't tell me nothing. So, but he did murder in the masking. Like I appreciate everything that he did do, but there's a lot of things also that he didn't tell me about and stuff like that. That I was like, okay, this is a good learning experience because my brother knew basically zilch. I taught him everything that my wife and I like in all of our systems. So he knew nothing and only knows us. So now he looks at other shit and he's like, look at this and that.
That's what you want, though, man. That's definitely what you want. You can keep it all in the family. You can keep it small. You could grow a little bit, but if you use your money properly, you can make a crap load of money doing it just what you're doing right now.
My goal is to have, like now with the baby and everything, my wife doesn't need to be in the field. Screw that. Have our little office set up.
Yep.
This is where I'm at right now. Is the little office set up and her running everything the way she does. 2023, I want to bring in like a little young gun runner. Just someone that me and my brother can run their ass to the dirt, but in a fun way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because we make everything that we do fun. Even all the shitty stuff, the hours of sanding and the profiles by hand and all that. Like, we just wild out and laugh and have fun and talk shit. So,
we're the same. For sure, talk shit all fucking day. Oh, dude,
it's
pure jokes.
Sure
it is, dude, for sure. There's 4 of us, and we've like my brother and then my one guy. We've all known each other for like over 20 years. So it's just it's like dude, like that's why I'll tell you this: anybody came down and joined you, it would be a blast. It's always a blast, because it's, what it's like. You're there, you're trying to stay focused on something, but sometimes you need certain things like music, laughter, camaraderie. Like that's a big one, especially when it's like early and it's dark. Like if you start like 4 or 5 in the morning and it's dark, and like with us, we're in these big houses. And when you look at a house like that, when you're first starting, it will eat you up if you look at it too much, because you're just like constantly like, oh fuck, like you know what I mean? So you need each other like big time. We're power in numbers people, man, big time.
Process plan, dude. My wife and I will build a process plan for every job, but the big ass jobs, I think that's where it helps to keep, especially my brother, in line in the beginning, because now he's just he knows it's all the same shit basically in the end, right? It just depends on the scope of work or what the substrate is. We just we print it out and everything, and we put it in plastic sheets and we post it up in our workstation so that when the client sees it, she's, they're like, oh wow, I always tell them, you can take a look at the process plan and I'll let you know if I'm falling behind. I'll let you know if we're ahead. But that's what keeps us in line, so that you're not just like, how are we going to do all this? No, it's day by day.
Yep.
Today we do this. If we can meet these goals, then tomorrow we can do this.
100%. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you just took one little bite.
Yeah. Yeah. So I told it's like, try not to see like, what is it? Like, don't look, what is it? Try to see the forest through the trees. It's like, don't look at it all at once, like little pieces, little tiny pieces. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But it's way funner when you have your buddies. There's always at times where you got to be like, okay, like just get to it. There's some days we piss away, I'm sure, but I would rather that than to feel like, I'm tied down to this feeling of just always being run by a schedule. That's hard.
All day.
That's hard, right?
My little brother knows with me, if he needs I need to go do this or whatever, we can. And the same for me, with the baby and everything. I have doctor's appointments for the baby, but he's at the job site at 8 o'clock in the morning, getting started, which I can only imagine. I had him doing that shit at, 6 months in, so I'm sure he was shitting his pants, and I knew he was, but he did it. And he's a young entrepreneur himself. I actually pay him through his company. So that's some business stuff here that I feel like not enough business talk goes along in the paint community. Everyone's always talking about, oh, this is better than that. But
well, I think like you were saying before too, I think that I don't think a lot of people know. Like even me, like I even get nervous to like talk about, like I don't have an MBA. I didn't go to school for it, but there's nothing better than learning through like failures and experiences, right? Like, it's always like, yeah, that's why it's like, I want my kids to go to school. I want them to get something they can fall back on. But at the same time, I don't want them to come out of school thinking like all of a sudden, boom, I deserve something because I did this much of school. And it's like, yeah, you definitely deserve it because you worked hard, you graduated, you did this and that. But you get your worth through experience. No matter what the fuck you do in life. I don't care if you went to school for 15 years to be a doctor. If you've never treated people in the real world, it's not the same. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that if you can find people that have made lots of mistakes, that's why like I'm like you, like I love talking with John from paint school because you can just see that he's been there, done that. It's like
he's so chill about it,
and he's like such a cool guy. It's not like, well, let's talk margins and profits and numbers and equations and this and that. I'm like, yo, like that's great to have, but I'm just talking more about those experiences hands-on that really help you develop your business, like in a business way.
How to articulate things in a good way to understand too. That doesn't have to be all like blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like he's a pretty good teacher. I don't know if he knows that. Those little videos that he's done, they're like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm like, man, I learned a lot. Yeah, and he's been through everything,
and it's just knowing that, and I think it's more that like there's like more validation there. You can be like, oh yeah, definitely, I definitely can trust something coming from John.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can just feel it. I think that social media has really fucked that up though. Kind of going to sidebar it a little bit because it's sort of related. But it's like there's so much fluff and there's a lot of marketing. There's a lot of camera trickery. There's a lot of things that are putting people in a place like they should, like, where it looks like they should be giving advice, but really I don't think they should be. You know what I mean? And you can feel that. So,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, that's why I just stay away from everything. I stay away from everything except I make the reels because they're fun and our clients like them. And I talk to the homies on here. I watch you guys, I learn, and then I just like.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure. Because I'm in a place right now where I'm like, man, like I love the homies. I love chatting with everyone. I like making friends and like helping people. I still help a ton of people, and I'm not ready to give that all up just for some bullshit out there. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'm just like, what the hell's happening right now? Like, but you just look the other way. Yeah, that's all you can really do.
Don't pay attention.
You try not to pay attention, but it's at the same time. It's like you're saying about the business, where it's like I think a lot of people they don't know any better sometimes, but it's easy to just fake it till you make it. And that's not good for people trying to learn. But either way. But
no, it's not, and you can really fuck up. In business, it's savage, bro. Yeah. It's like people think, oh, I'm gonna work for myself, I'm gonna do this and that. It's like there's a lot that goes into it, and that's why I knew we need to study, we need to figure this out.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's part of it. That was part of the escape plan, was learn. It's not like we're gonna I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna be a business mogul.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We at least had a little bit of a backbone. So every time that we did fail, and there was a lot of it, and I still am, I know that I can jump back and I know how to change it, or I know how to figure it out, or don't do that shit again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there's nothing better than learning through experiences like fucking up, man. Oh, dude. Yeah, I feel you though. I feel you, man. But I mean, business, there's like that other end of the business that I think, like you're saying, not a lot of people talk about when it comes down to like how it's run, how you're doing your taxes, how you're paying your people, you know, how you're even like going about getting the work, how you're, you know, there's so many things, you know, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
I say just start off small, right? Learn, start off small. You know, I did basically like John in the Paint Sniffers podcast, him and Aaron were talking about it because Aaron just bought all his pump jacks to do all that crazy ass exterior shit. And it came up about just like buying equipment one piece at a time as the job comes, you know. Oh shit, I don't have this, but I just won this job. Well, I got the deposit. I'm gonna go buy it, I guess. And you know, you just build and build slowly. And that was like the main thing. My wife and I were like, I don't want to subcontract really, and I don't want to get a business loan and try to just hire a bunch of people. Let's build a reputation. I like what we do anyways. I love what we do. I love being a painter. Of course, everything has its days, but and then build slowly. So my little brother is part of the building, right?
Yep.
He wants to learn everything that we're doing. He loves what we do. He wants to get into sales eventually. And then once I get him into a higher position, right, I bring someone else in.
That's right.
Like the runner that I was telling you, I want bring him in, teach him up, and if they want to learn and they want to make more money and stay, hopefully I can find some guys like that. I know it all sounds great in theory, but you have to have a plan at some point. So that's the plan. I want to be able to have like maybe 4 or 6 guys.
Yeah.
Small company.
Why not?
You can make millions of dollars doing that.
Definitely.
I want to be primarily selling and in the shop.
Yeah.
I want to be doing cool stuff in the shop. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing exteriors.
You don't want to do the exteriors anymore, eh?
Hell no, dude. My wife and I were talking about this the other day, and as well as my homie Ephraim, shout out Sammy's Construction. He was like, we were talking about all the dumbass exteriors that I've done this year. Just big, just ridiculous. Accessibility is like a huge issue. It was like, am I trying to prove something to myself, you know, like after breaking my leg, like subconsciously trying to prove something to myself that I can tackle these exteriors with 2 or 3 guys, you know?
I did it too.
Me being the main guy that does almost everything.
Yeah. Well, like, because you're seeing it, you're like, well, why the fuck not? Like, I could fucking smash this.
And I think that's what we figured out. I was like, I guess so. Maybe I was. And, I mean, I don't want to. Going into 2023, I'm just doing like exterior, just regular houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we could think of a regular ass house, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Until I build my crew, because I know how to do these big ass houses. I know how to do these big ass houses with just 2 of us. Then I'll let them do it.
Yeah. No, I give you props for that because exteriors are like, I give props to all the exterior guys. I couldn't continue to do it anymore. I did it for a while too. Big ones, Zoom work. Just like finally one day, it's just like you. I was just like, nah. And I'm not like kind of like you're saying. I'm not completely set up for it. You know, I'd like land this exterior job, and then I'm like, okay, what do I still have the exterior tools from like the last one I did? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh fuck, I need this. And it's like, oh yeah. So eventually, I just gave it up. I mean, it can be good money, but it'd be hard with 2 guys for sure.
We have so much fall protection stuff. It's just ridiculous, and I'm just done with it. I was talking with my boy Sean from Organic Finishes that did Venetian plaster in my area, and he was like, dude, you guys need to be inside. He was like, you deserve to just be inside. You guys do, like, your work is too good. And I don't think that my work is too good. Please, by any means, anyone on here, don't think that I think I'm anything. Because I really don't. But I really appreciated that coming from him. Because he works with a lot of designers and stuff. One he already kind of put me in contact with and I had a meeting with and spoke to. So that's cool, right? So I appreciated that. And I was like, I told my wife, she was like, yeah, we need to go inside. because I think I'm just done. I think I did it. I proved it.
Yep. Yeah.
I did some cool ass shit, and
Yep.
I'm done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it decent money though?
The Shake Shingle House, no, but the Shake Shingle House, a lot of things came from that.
Yeah.
A lot of growth, physically, mentally, spiritually. So the other ones, yes. Thank God. The other ones, yes. The other four, yes. Profitable, fun, very difficult but fun. I have reels on all of them. They're very high energy hip hop music. Just because that's how we were feeling. We were like, let's fuck this shit up.
This,
and I was pumped because I was like, all right, I know I charged right. I know we're gonna be okay, even if it takes another day or two. Like that's great clients, you know. One of the houses was 6 colors. You know.
Fuck. Are you serious? Oh God.
6 colors on the exterior. So that was super cool. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 6 colors, big ass exterior.
That's good for the portfolio.
Just me and my brother.
Yeah, man.
Fine Paints of Europe door that I gave her. You know, she's that lady I was telling you about that I thought was a scam that has just been a blessing to me. That I've painted her daughter's houses as well, which one of them got another fine paint store too. So just sprinkling, like E40 says, sprinkling, man. Just sprinkling little Fine Paints of Europe doors so that I can show people that, yeah, I'm doing that over here. And
yeah. Hey, man, if there's a market for it, then I mean, if you can sell, like, I would sell a Fine Paints of Europe something.
There isn't the market for that here. There is the market for it here. No one's tapped into it, and I am. Yeah, I will.
That's what you mean. You have a little area where you can do it. Here, I've asked around. There are some people doing it, but no one's really buying into it. Like, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe because it's Alberta, Canada, Cowtown. It's like almost like it's not even really in the designs right now. You know what I mean? So it's like
it's not really here. You know, that designer that I just met up with. I told her that we'd be doing the FPE, and she was like, "Yeah, her BM rep, right, is a huge regional rep because she's like a very fancy designer, which is very cool. If she's watching, I don't mean that in any way." She was like, "Yeah, my rep just finished telling me about that. I'm super intrigued. It sounds awesome."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh shit, okay." A designer that I just spoke to, that I just told that I play with it, just got told about it. Kismet, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Hard work, grind, putting it out there. I don't know. A combination of all of them.
Yeah, right place at the right time, having a skill that nobody else has to offer. It's market cap.
To people.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Big time. It was funny because I was thinking about that the other day because I might be doing some American clay plastering in this one big house. Have you seen the video for the RV garage that I was doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we go into the big house, they might want to do like all this American clay plaster on the walls instead of keeping it drywall or some sort of faux finish. The builders definitely said, was like, we're definitely doing something. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'm excited because I love doing that type of work. So I'm hoping it's the American clay plaster. But then I started thinking, like, you know, they're giving me the opportunity, like that girl sort of giving you, that designer being like, oh, well, I haven't really known. And it's like, now you can be like, well, here, look, this is what we can do. If you ever need anything, you can call us. We're the only ones doing it. And like that right there was like golden. So my builder's kind of giving me that opportunity. So I thought about it too. I was like, maybe I should do like one square of like some brilliant white, and maybe they'll put it on a ceiling somewhere. So I don't know. I have no idea.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
I have no idea. You know, I just mean that like this builder's great because they have such high-end clients that he's doing what we're sort of doing as painters to clients, where some people can't see the vision. Like they want you to give them their dreams. When you give them those samples and you run them through stuff, then they can make better decisions, right? So he's like that with these clients. So, you know, it's like give them everything, present it to them, and they might eat something up. So I'm like, oh shit, you know,
that'd be cool as hell.
You know, not a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah, no one's doing that stuff here. Like I said, I only use the 2 products, the Uni Primer and the Eco Sand.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Waterborne products. So, like I said, I just wanted to get good at that. Once I get good at that, I'll start playing with the oil. I did use the oil-based primer at that Shake Shingle house, on all of the fascia.
Okay, nice.
Uh, so that house got some dope ass oil primer
Yeah,
to
yeah,
seal everything and block all the stains and everything. And let me tell you, it provided a great base for top coat.
yeah.
And we hand rolled all the oil, so it just looked slick. It looked awesome. So that was pretty cool.
So if you go inside, say you're doing trim work, cabinet work, stuff like that, what are you using for that type of stuff?
Right now, we've just been using primarily like Pro Classic or Sherwin-Williams Pro Industrial
Yeah.
Alkyd waterborne
Yep.
urethane
Yep.
enamel.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I like using funky ass shit like that inside of houses because, like for trim and stuff like that, because I used those industrial products before and I know that they're very strong. And if you can get them in like a nice eggshell sheen and you can sell them on it, it looks so dope.
Yeah.
It looks so nice, and I think it hardens a lot better than uh, like emerald urethane and stuff like that, which I guess is probably the same shit at the end of the day, right?
Well, I remember when I first was doing some kitchen repaints back in the day, I kept getting them confused and finally I had to say to my Sherwin rep, like, what do I got here? Like, what are you giving me here? It's like, well, one's emerald urethane, one's acrylic or whatever, emerald urethane enamel or whatever. And there was just like a little slight difference in the label that I would
Yeah.
always remember, like, hey, yeah, this is the better stuff. Okay, let's use this. So there is, I think it's more, they're coming more out with more hybrid products,
Yes.
right? So,
And
but
we don't do too many cabinet refinishes. I didn't grow up doing too many of them. I
yeah,
did a couple with my dad, and it was like brush and roll shit. So, like with all the crazy shit coming out with the 2K stuff, I just haven't used much of it. I want to, I just haven't. And I haven't really sold any cabinet jobs because, quite frankly, I don't feel like I'm prepared for it,
yeah, that's fair, man.
properly
Yeah,
do it. And cabinet jobs are expensive. And if I'm going to do one, I'm definitely going to charge at least somewhat accordingly. But the way that I choose my clients and stuff, I feel like I would be doing a disservice by not being able to bring something fucking to them, like.
yeah,
So now, having our own spot and me having some space, I'm going to be building a little booth, and I'm just going to be working on the cabinets here. And I'm probably going to run some fine paints of Europe, and then I'm going to go and get some sample doors from a local cabinet guy and run some Centurion stuff. I know a couple guys that use it, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty nice. Figure if I'm going to get into the 2K water-based game, I feel comfortable with trying that. They're right here out of Texas,
yeah.
so super close to us. I know some guys that use it that I trust, so I figure I want to try that. But I don't really do too many cabinets, so whenever we're doing trim packs, Pro Classic, the Alkyd urethane enamel, Command, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. A lot of spraying too, or whatever. It's really depends on the job, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
but I'd rather spray, so I try to sell the spray
yeah,
finish, right?
yeah,
And most of the times they don't even care. And we run air scrubbers, they live in their houses and shit, so tent everything, the drill, run air scrubbers, run the big 12-inch fans. All of these little things came from me never spraying trim. I grew up brushing miles of
yeah,
baseboard,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
plan, brushing and rolling doors. So I grew up brushing a bunch of enamel, but never spraying these fine finishes. So I just took the concepts from the industrial, and I know how this shit has to look,
Yep.
and I know all the prep. So, of course, my first couple sucked. And there was a lot of mess ups and a lot of sanding and a lot of fixing and a lot of lost time and money. And now, especially my brother, like he's so good at filling and sanding. Like my little brother's a beast. He's pretty sweet. So it makes everything awesome when we're going to spray a full trim pack.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. You're not there alone. You don't have to see it and you're like, oh, fuck, man, I got a lot to do. Because have you worked solo by yourself in your own company or was it in the beginning?
yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah.
when my wife was still working in her career
Yeah.
job, and then I worked 4 jobs by myself
Oh,
after the
geez.
baby was born when I got back working because I had like $200 in the business account and like pretty much nothing really in my personal account. It was bad. It was horrible. You never feel that low. You never, especially when there's a baby in the house and you have a wife. You feel like You feel like, what is going on right now? Like, what the hell am I doing? So I just picked up those jobs and did them all by myself. And then I brought my dad and my brother on. And now my dad, he doesn't work exclusively with us. I pretty much bring him on to do a bunch of other shit. So I make him more money, like installing some doors or trim.
Yeah.
Instead of fucking sitting there on his hands and knees with me or in the hot sun. Like, he doesn't really have to be working, but he does. You gotta have that ice cream money for the granddaughter.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, man, it feels good to be where I'm at right now.
Good for you, bro.
Especially third year in business, I feel really good.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary says, if you're in your third year in business and you're not making money, you need to take it out behind the bar and shoot it. And when he said that, I was like, oh my God, thank God I'm making money.
Yeah. But like, you know what they also say too is that it usually takes about that long until you start seeing it, right? So like, don't ever give up. Like, you never gave up. Don't give up, motherfuckers.
Yeah, don't give up, guys. You got this shit. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm cool and I'm okay for the rest of my life, but I'm way better than I was last year in May. And I know what I can do and I know what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
Just gotta keep going.
Yeah, that'd be scary, man. I do know a little bit about that. I was so young. My girlfriend got pregnant. Like, man, wow, scary business.
I can't imagine that. That's even scary.
Dude, I was making $17 an hour. I didn't have anything. Actually, lies. My dad actually did retire and helped us buy our first house, but it was me and my brother together. It was a little cheaper then. I think we bought the first house we bought was $200,000. So, I mean, the mortgage wasn't that big for two of us, but I was only making $17 an hour because, my dad and my brother sort of forced me to do it. It was the best thing I ever did because I was like, I'm not ready to move out yet. Like, I just got back from traveling. I just landed this job painting, it was like all these things happened so fast. So, I jumped into that, but I wasn't making a lot of money. Making $17 an hour. I had my house, but I was mortgage poor. Like, I had enough money to pay my bills, and then when my girlfriend got pregnant, it was fucking scary, man. It was super scary.
Having a kid is scary whenever you have your own business. I will say that.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
Yeah. I was not, like, I was nervous and stuff, but I was like, I'll do whatever the fuck it takes. Yeah. Of course, now I feel like I'll do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
But it's in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, I will do whatever it takes, but also you're waking up at 2:30 in the morning like, I know I got to work for the next 2 months, but the baby.
Oh, no, I feel you, man. I totally feel you. Yeah. It's tough, but like I said, once again, you just don't give up. You just keep going, and things always get better. They always get better. If you can stay positive and you can do that, then things always get better. But look, go ahead.
Everything falls into place, and a good painter always has work, right?
I've never had a problem. It's like, and as soon as like it gets to the point where you're like, fuck, man, I could use another job. It's like the universe hears you. And it's like,
and you get bombarded with like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Or even just that one half a job that you're just helps you enough that you're like, wow, like almost insulting that it was like small enough and just enough. But then it's like, almost like, well, maybe that was meant to just get you to that next one, to get you keep going, So, but you've been 3 years in, bro. You're doing great. You're freaking doing awesome. Hey, man, like I said, I've been there, done that. And like I said, I think about it when, oh man, young family, breaks his leg. Like, fuck, I'm like, oh my God, man. But good for you, dude. Good for you. So like, what are your goals now? Grow the company, or is it just like bank, or is it like get more tools, get more people? Like, where are you guys at now?
I've got a lot of pretty cool tools. I'm very blessed for that. Maybe acquire a couple more things that I feel like would be helpful. In the next 5 years, I'll be 40, so I don't want to be doing any exteriors at all. Me personally.
Yeah.
I know my guys doing them. And I plan on, my goal is by 45 to not be doing too much in the business except for being at the shop. I'm always going to love shop work. Always going to love being somewhere and sanding and shit, you know, and painting, getting the booths, get ready. I'm very ritualistic in getting ready. You know, I like to clean out my respirator, you know, and put a certain song on or whatever the vibe is to get everything set up and ready. Take a couple of deep breaths. Talk about the route path with my brother again. Is there anything better? Do you want to tweak something? No, okay. And then just go. You know.
All I see is go, bro.
All I see is go.
All I see is go. Yeah, man. I feel you. I totally feel you, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just think that the main thing is I'm just grateful. I'm grateful and I'm blessed, and just stay focused, stay humble, and keep going forward, like you said. That's the only thing that we can do.
Yeah, just keep an open mind, right? Just, I know I was uploading some of these podcasts that I had banked up, and I was going back down through like the list of like the first ones I did. And I started just going through. I was just listening to see like if like how much I've improved in the sense of like the editing and like the way it sounds and like the narrative and blah blah blah. And then I started listening to some of that. And I'm like, fuck, man! Like there was so much that I said that I even almost forgot on my own. That it's like advice that I have to even remind myself to take.
Great advice, by the way.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate. Well, because like it comes from a place where like it's not just me being like, let me just talk for the sake of talking. It's more just like, yo, this shit happened like yesterday. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of things that I listened to all of your episodes like maybe twice or thrice over throughout my leg break recovery.
Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, yours and then freaking all 70-something episodes of ZK Painting. I only listened to that one time over, but I've listened to yours at least 2 or 3 times just because there's like nuggets in every episode. So awesome advice. And that happens in life, right? Sometimes it's like we know what to tell somebody when they're down, but sometimes we're not the nicest to ourselves, or we don't know how to not be a dick to ourselves or kind of get ourselves back from being down, you know?
Oof. Amen.
We're our worst enemy sometimes, you know. And I'm very hard on myself a lot, you know. It pushes me, but my wife teaches me to love myself, and and she's like, gets the phone and it's like, look, stupid, look what you guys did, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they love it and they're happy, like you guys did that.
Yeah.
So you're right.
And you get to work with your brother, man.
Yeah, we work great.
That's awesome. That's dope. Yeah. How old's your brother?
23.
Oh shit! So he's like youngin'. Well,
but I mean, they don't make him like him, dude. He's a beast.
That's dope.
He's a beast, man. And,
he's got a lot to look forward to. Then, good for him.
He's a strong dude. You know, so we're both pretty, smaller dudes, but he's a strong dude. So it's a huge relief off of me.
Yeah,
he's quick. He thinks. He's not just working. Like, okay. He told me to go mask this shit.
Yeah.
He's masking and he's thinking, what do I need to do to mask this shit better, faster? What else can I do while I'm masking so I don't even have to come back here?
Fucking right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I wish I could get some video of that, of me and my guy. Because dude, you'll get to a place with your brother. I can tell already if he's like that. Me and Matt, my guy Matt, we're like, we could literally work together blindfolded. I swear to God. Because it's like, if I'm doing something like, hey, we're spraying this or we're doing that, it's like you put that down, you turn around, that thing's already there. Then it's like you've already planned that. He's already planned that. And you're working in this beautiful unison of a system. And it's incredible. Like,
he already knows. As long as he knows the scope of what's happening, I basically don't have to tell him anything.
That's what I mean.
And if he doesn't know, he comes and asks.
Yeah.
I don't care if he asks me 30 questions in 2 hours. Thank God he asked me.
Yeah.
So we can get it right the first time.
100%, man. But yeah, I love that when it's just flowing. I don't even have to say anything. Next thing you know, you look at the clock, you're done, and you're like, fuck, this really just happened? Like, damn, yeah. Boom. Yeah.
Another day, everybody had a good day. Everyone had fun.
Yeah.
Everyone's making money.
Yeah.
Everyone's growing.
That's it,
It's a
man.
beautiful
That's
thing.
it. That's it, dude. Absolutely. I'm really glad that that's happened for you, man. And I'm glad that we finally caught up because I've
Me
been
too.
so swamped, dude. Like even with the podcast and social media period, I've just been so busy, man. Like, dude,
But that's
crazy.
why it's cool to have friends like you guys, like the ones like you and a couple of other guys I talked to here as well.
Yeah.
Fucking busy. But we just shoot an audio or talk shit real quick, and it's love, and then we just keep going.
Oh, dude, like I got this guy I chat with HPS. He's in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'm sure this guy's just like, motherfucker, like I sent you like 2 voicemails, and the only reason I'm bringing him up because I think I've done it to him like 2 or 3 times, but fuck, what a solid guy because he just gets it. He knows
Yeah.
that like, hey man, like if it's just it's like you. It's like I'm like, dude, I haven't talked to you in like 5 months, but like what the fuck's up? And it's like if you get a
Oh,
minute, it's great, right?
yeah, well, you know how we do it. It's like, what's up? I send you a baby pic. Oh shit,
I
how
know.
cute. And then we're back to painting,
Absolutely, man. Like I've been trying, like to anyone that's listening, I've been trying really hard to still be there, still try and engage, still try and like, see what's going on. But I've been so busy focusing on, this builder and like all the projects we have on the go. And this was like something that I waited for. Because when I first started posting on Instagram, some of that work wasn't even my contract. It was subcontract work. It was work that I did and I liked posting it, but I always thought to myself, man, if I got like a juicy ass builder, I'd have all this content. I could put all this stuff up. And then I realized like, oh, I actually don't have time to do that. So for me this year, well, in 2023, my thing is to either bring one of my kids on board to do more filming or maybe invest into that a little bit because like I'm losing a lot of content just from the fact that I'm tired. Like, no, I don't want to fucking post a video of another fucking, like you said, of another fucking door being sprayed. Like, do you guys really need that? Like, I want to put out something a little more juicier now. It's like I want to take it to the next level a little bit.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see. That's why I'm
that's how
glad
I feel.
to have met people like you and just like whatever. This is what it's really about.
This has been one of the greatest things for me, especially in this industry, is to be able to share with you guys and learn from you guys and like build these friendships.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome.
And for anyone that thinks like I learned too, like if anyone like people, oh, you're the goat. It's like, yo, man, I learn every day, honestly, from people, and there's no disrespect to them that are still rookies learning from me. I end up learning from them,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about, right?
We can learn from everyone, but
Fucking
everyone has
nuts.
something to offer. Maybe.
Everybody. Well, well, well.
Let's say come to your job site and fuck all bunch of shit up, and you're like, I gotta fix a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean you have 30 years experience? You're 20 years old. Oh,
So
you
you know
got
what
to
they look
catch the
like there, right?
bus.
But that's part of learning, right?
Yeah, it is. That is. Yeah,
So
bro.
learning, bro.
But dude, we've been going for 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I know, right? Crazy. I know. And I don't want to keep you too long because I think it's a little later over there than it is here. So I don't want to keep you too long from your
Kind of
wife,
fun.
your baby. Yeah. But I do have these quick blast off questions that I love doing. So let's run them through. Take as much time or as little time as you want. I don't care. You can blast through them. You can say yes, no. You can give one word answers. I don't care. But let's blast through some of these. All right.
Let's go.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's do it. All right. So when it comes to painting, what's your favorite tool?
Um, Probably, can I say all of my sanders, like my
Yeah,
Festool and
whatever
my
you
American
want.
sander?
Yeah, the sanders.
I love the sanders. I grew up doing nothing but hand sanding,
Yeah.
and there's always still hand sanding. You know that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm still on the fence. Like I don't like I really because I've been doing quite a few services now inside of these furnished homes that I'm like, man, I really wish I had a Festool.
Yeah.
Like I really
Well, in
wish.
industrial, I used an orbital a lot in industrial. Running out of a air hose. There
Right.
was a lot of paddle sanding,
Yes.
and how the mirrors are set up, and so I'm already familiar with that. And those are my favorites. Fast, clean, efficient, get you flat.
No shit. Yeah, I feel like I should pull the trigger on something like that, but I just haven't done it yet. You think it's worth it?
I love all my babies.
Okay,
I got the triangle mirror, the rectangle, and the
nice.
5-inch orbital. I plan on adding some type of a drywall sander to the mix just to make the wall painting even better for my clients.
Are you big on a
But
certain brand?
I like the Mirka sanders.
Yeah, America.
I like them a lot. I like the paddle sanders. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah,
I like them. They're comfortable, ergonomic.
dope.
Yeah.
All right.
Festool, that's cool shit, but I run the Festool Vax. I have the vacuum.
The
But yeah,
Festool vacuum? Okay. Yeah.
and so I run the Mirka sanders out of that.
Fuck, man. That stuff's so expensive. I can't believe how
It is.
expensive some of that stuff is. Yeah.
It is, and that's why I sacrificed and I didn't pay myself for a long time. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are my babies.
Good
I love
man.
those things.
Good man. Painter whites, yay or nay?
Yeah,
Yay?
all the time.
Do you guys wear rock whites?
Yep, I like us to look a certain way. I want us to look professional. I'm wearing Sam's shirt, but company shirts. We have several different generations of company shirts. Company whites. It's just me and my bro, so I buy him all his shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Company hoodies, company beanies, company hats.
Fucking A.
I don't buy anybody else's shit. All our shit.
But strictly white pants at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
My little
Gotcha.
brother knows that I don't like, like Alpha. Don't come to my job site with fucking blue jeans. I don't want that shit. I don't want no handyman special. I want everyone to fucking know we're on site, that we're the painters on site.
For sure.
No matter what.
For sure. Do you let your brother use headphones?
Yeah, but most of the times we're just jamming, bro.
Yeah.
Most of the times we just got the Bluetooth speaker going.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. I just wonder.
When it's appropriate.
Well, because like one of my guys, he loves it. Like I'll look over and like he'll put his phone down to charge, and I'll like look over and it's like he's like not even standing there looking at the phone, just charging, but he's playing like all of Dragon Ball Z. So I'll be like, dude, are you fucking? He's like, well, I'm not watching it. I'm listening to it. He's like, I won't even watch it. He's like, he'll just listen to these episodes all fucking day.
My little brother does that sometimes, but most of the times he'll do that if we're in a big ass house and like I'm in one room and he's.
Dude, I agree. I'm just curious because like sometimes, I want that for them. Because I don't want them to go crazy when you're like, look at this whole house. And we got to sand all that. And they're like, yeah, we're going to be sanding and dapping for about 2 weeks, guys. Get prepared. So they need their music. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
We jam out.
Yeah, we're the same. We're the same, man. I love it. I love it too, especially, because, if I get into a nice broom with some reverb, a little bit of, fucking jam it out myself. Hell yeah. Especially when I'm priming. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure.
If not painting, what would you be doing?
Not painting?
Like, let's mix it two questions together. If it's like, if you weren't painting, what would you be doing? Like, and would that be like your dream job, or would you not, would you fucking live off grid and fish and live off the land somewhere, or would you find a different career? Would you find something you loved?
So I love martial arts, right?
Yeah.
I love to train in martial arts and I love to teach, but if I was to get into something else, I want to build lowriders.
No shit. Nice. Okay.
That's my dream. That's one of my main goals right now. By the time I'm 40, I want to have my 87 Cutlass Supreme on switches.
On the switches. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, nice.
I grew up with all that, around me all the time. Growing up in the hood and stuff. And I love the lowrider culture, and I love those cars.
Yeah.
And I just want to pull up on somebody at the stoplight and hit a switch.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Or pull up at the roundabout when I'm dropping my baby. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I feel you, man. I know. I feel the culture. I like it too. There wasn't a lot of culture here in the sense that I'm in like Calgary, Alberta. But I worked at this gas station when I was a kid, and one of the guys that worked there, it was actually a group of dudes that worked there, and one of their friends and his buddies owned like this sick ass custom shop, Millennium Auto Body Works it was called. So they'd always roll up to the gas station, we'd pump gas, and they'd always just let me look at all the cars with like all the hydraulics, like what it's like to the fucking nines. Like you lift the hood and it's like there's not even a speck of anything. Like, so I feel it, man. That would be cool. I'm not very good at it. I think mechanics.
I'm not good at it. I am not mechanically inclined. I was just saying if I could have done something,
Yeah,
I probably would have gone like high school to tech school, learned, and then tried to go to like a shop
that's
like
dope.
that does that. That's
Yeah,
probably that's what I'd do in my other life.
yeah, yeah. Me too. Something creative. You know,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
like and I guess I'm kind of doing it, but what was it? American Restoration,
yeah,
where they
yeah,
go
yeah.
and like get those like old like whatever like gas pumps and like take them all apart and then like
Yeah,
refinish every component and then put it all back together.
that's just
It
crazy.
shit's crazy. Like these other artists I follow online, where the guy does like miniature art, but like realistic.
Okay.
So when you look at it and it's a camera shot, when they zoom out, it's like it's this little diorama of this like
Uh-huh.
street with like realistic like garbage cans. I don't know. I thought that shit
I've
was
seen,
kind of
I've seen them in your stories, and I was like, wow,
yo, dude,
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, shit like
Ridiculous.
that. Yeah, that shit
That's
like
just
that
crazy.
interests me. Um, do you believe the Earth is flat?
Absolutely not. I love space. And this family, we love space.
Cool, cool.
I, Elon Musk is the shit. I love
Oh,
SpaceX.
okay. I was just about to say, yeah, my
I
man,
refuse
Elon.
to. I refuse to believe any of
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Um, so what kind of brushes and rollers are you guys rocking?
that. I like the Wooster rollers.
Nice.
18.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I used to like Purdy Colossus. Purdy can go suck a, whatever.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um, and I started off with like Purdy brushes and
Yeah.
Wooster and stuff like that. And now we've turned bougie and we refuse to touch anything that isn't a Monarch or an Oldsfield brush.
No shit. I
And
haven't
both are
tried.
pretty accessible.
I
So
haven't tried either, and I heard the Monarchs like the bee's knees. Apparently.
the Monarch is amazing, and I love the Oldsfield. The Oldsfield is even easier. Another plug. You hook up with the right painter
Nice.
Sam, which now it's not on the Painter's Emporium, but if you look it up on Amazon, you can get yourself some Oldsfield gear there.
Sweet.
I love those brushes, and it's very easy to get it because you can just go on Amazon.
Yeah. I gotta try them.
I'm,
I haven't tried the old
I'm
fields
not.
or Monarch.
I'll tell you already know who this is, and we'll talk about it in a DM because I don't want to just blast his name here because I know there's other guys that know too. But there is a guy on here that you can get Monarchs from. He's a cool dude. He's not in this country, um, but he can get them for you.
Hmm. I think we
And
know.
if he's cool,
I think I know
if
who
he's
it is.
cool with you, if you know who he is, and if he's cool with you, he doesn't mind getting it for you. If
Yeah.
anything,
No
he's
doubt.
excited because he's got a dope ass brush in your hand. So I bought like a 6-pack off of him or something like that, and I love him.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna still have to try them because it's been like probably the sixth or seventh person, and I was like, "Fuck, I
I
need
mean,
to get me some of this shit."
a brush is a brush is a brush. It's the technician behind it, right?
Yeah.
But when you have experience with a brush, right? I love those Monarchs and
Yeah.
those old brushes. They're slick.
I gotta try them, man. I haven't tried them yet, and I've heard very many good things.
Around here, all walls are textured, and dude, white ceilings and colored walls. I'll fucking cut in
Oh
walls
shit.
for miles with those brushes on textured walls, even, and just have nice crispy lines all the way through. I love them. I think they're awesome.
Okay.
It's hard to get fucking nice crispy lines on textured walls, and
Oh, dude,
sometimes,
crazy.
depending on what's happening, I will mask them. I know that you do too. I like masking
Yeah,
ceilings.
it depends. I'm like you. I'm like, listen, like I'm trying to foresee everything. I'm like, you know,
Or if I do. Sometimes I work behind a specific drywall dude that I don't know what the fuck he uses, but when we pull tape, it'll pull a fucking chunk out of the. So I'm like, you know what? 3,500 square feet. I'm just cutting it.
yeah,
Let's go. And then my brother cuts bottoms,
yep,
and we do mid ranges. So I cut middle, and he cuts the lower down,
fucking a,
or from the lower up to the middle.
yeah,
That's our system.
yeah,
And then we have two 18-inch rollers, and I blast that out.
yeah.
Everything.
I used to have a real short guy that worked with me, and we would do the same system. And I'd always like I'd let him go around first and like, well, get a head start or whatever would happen. And I'd come back and look, and his name was Daryl. And he'd be like, Daryl, like, can't you get any higher than this? He's like, no, dude, like, look how short I am. Because I always thought he was just being a lazy motherfucker. I'm like, dude, you're going to make me, because I'm doing tops, do like, cut it. No, he was just so short that it was all, I was like, oh, fuck, man. I'm pretty much cutting it all right now. That's the way to do it, though. Chicken and beef. Chicken and beef.
Beef all day, baby. I want that steak.
Yeah, no shit, hey? Coffee or tea?
Coffee, bro.
You a big coffee drinker?
Yeah, I'm Cuban, Puerto Rican, Colombian, so I drink coffee.
Fuck. Yeah, I'm Italian, so I'd be drinking coffee in bed right before I go to sleep. And this nice espresso.
Fucking nightcap and shit.
Literally nightcap. That's so funny. yeah, I like coffee too. What's one of the most painful things you've ever been told in business? Have you had any of that yet? Has anyone ever said anything to you like, what the fuck is this? Or, hey, you were late, or hey, you fucking broke this, or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, me and my brother were, I don't even know what happened, dude. We were doing an easy fucking little kitchen for one of my really good friends that he does tile. He was the GM or the GC of this whole kitchen remodel. Long story short, bro, everything got fucking masked except for the quartz countertops. Don't ask me why, okay? I got interrupted midway through and I had to go and paint some trim. And I had a couple of calls and completely bypassed throwing plastic or anything on the quartz countertop. We roll the first coat. The husband gets in and notices it. And it's just sprinkles from
which actually comes off quite easily from granite. No,
blade, microfiber.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if it ain't porous, it's like fuck.
He was very much a fucking asshole. He was a former cop. $30,000 worth of quartz countertop. I'm being like very, very cool, but I'm dying inside, and I'm explaining to him, I got this, dude. I got this. We're gonna clean this up. He just didn't let it go. Yeah. And the wife gets there. Now she knows. I get everything cleaned up. Everything's fine. But now we have to go back the next day to finish up. And so I just feel super weird. We finished everything up and they were paying for the check. I gave them the kitchen trim for free. And they were like, Ben told me that you were a professional.
Ooh.
I really expected more from you than that on something this easy. And but thank you for cleaning it up. It looks nice. Have a happy Thanksgiving. It was the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I was like, I just felt like an idiot. It was the fucking rookiest mistake you could have ever made. Like,
and that's probably why they were like being such dicks about it, because it's like, really, man, it's like the easiest thing. But fuck, man, shit happens.
And I didn't pay attention. Like, everything got masked to the T because all the cabinets were fresh. All the tile that my boy just installed was fresh. Brand new fridge, brand new microwave, brand new everything. Like, everything was Christmas wrapped. I got distracted.
Yep.
I got a couple calls. I just went to the paint and got going.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst.
Bro,
that sucked.
That house that I did, like I told you, that first side job I did where they paid me that $30,000 or whatever, they trusted me. I did it in 2 sections. One half was like in 2 wings, like the great room, staircase, and the master bedroom side, and then the other side. Okay. It's just a bungalow. And 2 separate time, so like whatever, completed one in the summer and then the fall did the other side. But there was like a 2 or 3 month break in between. Okay. Long story short, unmask it. Dude, it was a full repaint, respray. Had the whole half, whichever half I was on, like masked up, like they're coming back from vacation. Literally, we're unmasking it. They're cleaning. They're coming home. She comes home and she's like, something's wrong. Something's just not right about this side. And I'm like thinking through everything. Like, what could it be? She's like, yeah, I don't think this is the right paint. She go, lo and behold, she goes and checks. I sprayed one half with eggshell and one half with semi-gloss. Bro, she was crying. She was crying to me on the phone. And I'm like, no, like, we can fix this. Swear to God, dude, next fucking day, show up, start remasking it all, redoing it all while they're there. And you know what that, like, I don't know if you know what it's like, but to remask it after you just unmasked it, bro. Yeah.
It's the worst.
It was
It's the
terrible.
worst.
So I feel your pain, man.
The crying is probably that's the worst. Because
Dude, bro, I didn't even know what to say. I just said, hey, I made a mistake. It can be fixed. Thankfully, it was not, well, it was an easy fix in the sense I just had to tape it all off, spray 2 more coats of semi-gloss. But how inconvenient for them, right? Yeah.
I think I'd rather deal with a dickhead client than my cool client crying. Because it's something I did. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. We're
gonna fix it, but
yeah. She was crying, man. I'll never forget that. That was one of the experiences I'll never ever fucking forget.
What did that teach you? Did it teach you to check the can?
No, it actually, it actually taught me more to be like, it was like this lesson of, if you're going to do this, you have to do it right, which means paying attention, not procrastinating, following up, even on your own checklist, always making sure you're on your game. That's what it was a good lesson early on, because you never make that fucking mistake again, ever.
That's a tough mistake to
Dude,
make.
it was like, and a long story short, I asked my cousin to come and help me, and he was like, and I made the mistake of telling him how much money that I was making. So he thought I was like racking in all this coin. So then when I fucked up and I was like, dude, can you come back and help me? He literally was like, no. I swear to God, he was like, no, I can't come back unless you pay me this much and this. And I was just like, holy fuck, this is turning into like one of those things where you're not experienced, you don't have the business end of it, and you're just like, fuck. So I went back there, grinded it like you would have done. I was just like, fuck it. I'll take care of this myself then. Fine. I went and I just grinded it, man. Like grinded it. Got her done, got it unmasked, and they loved it. They let me paint the rest of the house. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But I feel you. Sorry. I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You have to do what's right? And in that situation, you did what's right. And that speaks way more in volumes than an accident.
Okay. Dude, so check this out, okay? One of the first builders I finally landed when I kind of went on my own, like not subcontracting, like a builder that I was like, oh shit, like I just landed this contract, like, and they're going to give me all the new home builds. Awesome. I got busy. I was learning. Like I was pretty good at business. I just wasn't good at managing multiple jobs yet, because I didn't start out with multiple jobs. Right. So it's like, okay, I got like 4 or 5 jobs on the go. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Long story short again, that I kind of dropped the ball with this builder. Okay. So then they didn't like me. We ended up kind of getting into it. I'm trying to apologize. They just cut me off, like straight up. They wouldn't even let me apologize or nothing. I'm like sending emails. I'm like, and even with a big house coming, I was still like, if you don't ever want to hire me again, I totally understand, but just answer my phone call so I can at least apologize. Okay. Never happened. Years go by. Years go by. I see the man, because it's a husband and wife duo. I see him in Home Depot. So finally I'm like, I'm just like you say, I just want to do the right thing. I don't care. Like, I'm busy now. I don't care if you never give me the work. So I see him. I say, hey man, you remember me? Oh yeah, I remember you. Hey, listen, you never actually let me apologize. I just wanted you to know I didn't want to go down that way. It was super unprofessional. I just want you to know that I was learning, and I'm sorry that it worked out that way. Okay. I see him at Home Depot 3 months later. Hey, the wife calls me. Hey, Brian told me that you seen me at Home Depot, and like, man, that was like a really noble thing that you did. It spoke a lot to your character. We've been having trouble with our painters. Would you like to come back? Right. And even though I was more than okay with never having that contract again because I was busy, look what happened. Like, I was just like, well, I told her, I was like, well, fuck, like I had to apologize. Like you guys wouldn't even let me apologize. I wanted to explain, you know, but just that and just that alone. Yeah, man. Got me the contract back. I didn't even ask for it. I swear. And not to say that, you know, oh, Mr. No, I was just like, just wanted to do what was right. I knew that if I let that guy walk away without me being like, hey man, just let me say sorry. I just had to. You just have to do what's right.
That's the coolest shit ever, bro.
Yo, dude, it was nuts. And they were both like, whatever, it's water under the bridge. Are you still good at what you do? Definitely. Okay, we want you back. All right, cool. Sweet.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that.
But it's like you say, you got to do what's right, even though those are the hard things to do. Like you said, listening to a lady cry on the phone, like you just want to hang up. You want to run away.
Yeah.
Which is
it costs it. You lose in other things, you know, like time, money, labor, but you gain so much. So just always do what's right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's hard to do, but yeah, you just got to. Is there a question you wish I would have asked you, or something you might want to ask me? And you can say,
really, man.
And you can say no. You can pass.
Yeah, not really. You know, we've had personal conversations ourselves.
Yeah, bro.
And I've listened to all of your podcasts several times. So the funny part is I forgot about the questions at the end, and that's my favorite part.
Oh, yeah. Well, tonight, because it was so last minute, I was like, like I told you, I was like, I'm going to free flow this one. Like I did pull up the questions, but I didn't want it. Cause like, you know, like you're cool shit. We're both, you know, similar. We're doing the same thing. So I'm like, fucking, I'm just going to free flow this one. But then I was going through and I was like, oh yeah, the blast off questions. I like this part too. Like I got to do the blast off questions.
Honestly, I just think it's cool that I'm on your show because,
bro,
like I said, I've listened to all of them, and you're my friend, you're my bro. So it's an honor to be on here, and it was cool to have this vibe with you. Just a little bit different than talking personally or talking on the phone and shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That's what I say to some people, like Mick from HPS in Australia. There, I talked to him so many times, and when we finally got on the live and like to see him, I was like, dude, I feel like I'm actually finally like meeting you, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? So that was kind of cool. Sweet or salty?
Savory.
Oh, that's been the best answer so far. Damn, savory. Okay. We're gonna have to add that. I'm gonna have to add that in there. Sweet or savory. If you could change a few things about yourself right now for the future, what would it be?
Nothing. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, bro. I'm gonna keep my head down. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna move in silence. I'm gonna make my dope ass videos with my brother. I'm gonna be a fucking badass dad and a dope ass husband.
That's the best fucking answer.
I'm gonna stay my course, bro. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go, bro. Amen to that. Fucking A.
And I want to be here for anyone that needs, like any of the homies here or anyone new. Everybody knows, because everyone that was there for me when I broke my leg, like they all know. If they ever fucking need anything, I'm here. You know, I'm not scared to get on the phone and be like, "What's up, bro? You okay?"
Yeah.
Or, you know, what do you need? So
good for you, man. Absolutely, freaking right. I asked you. You talked about the dustless sanding system, so I'm not going to ask you that. I think you did mention some of your hobbies, where you do like martial arts. Is there anything else that you do? Like,
I love to fish, and I'm going to be buying a tandem kayak for the family because I want to take the wife and the baby kayaking into the lake like all the time.
There you go. Nice. And, I've said no to a kayak like 3 Christmases in a row now. I think I should have said yes. My wife's like, I should buy you, like, you can get like some sick ass ones.
I love it, bro. You're just out there, and you know, a lot of them come with pole attachments, so you can just hook up your fishing pole, a little cooler,
yeah,
and just go out there and kick it, man, and just forget about everything.
That'd be dope.
I like to fish, and I like to train in martial arts, and I like hanging out with my family, bro. I like being with my daughter and with my wife. My wife is my best friend, so
good man.
I love kicking it with them, bro. Like kicking it with them, watching a fucking Disney movie, eating dinner, doing nothing. That's my favorite shit to do.
Fucking doing nothing's my favorite shit to do too, man. Hell yeah. No, I mean, that sounds crazy, but it's like I said, that anxiety, but there's also that piece of me that's like always like, just do it anyways because it's so nice. It's so nice. I don't do it enough. Maybe that's what it is. Um, well, the one question here is, do you believe in mentors? I think it's yes, because you did mention that you had a mentor.
I have two mentors.
Do you want to share? Or?
Yeah, my aunt is my mentor, and
Nice.
she's one of my business mentors and a life mentor. And then my martial arts instructor that I've been training with ever since I was 15 and got my black belt with. I trained with him till I was 21 for my black belt. So, 8 years with him to get up to
Damn.
black belt. And, now I'm 35. He's my life coach.
That's awesome. So you're a black belt, hey?
Yeah.
Oh,
I traveled across the state of Oklahoma competing for 5 years, fighting and forms. And then when I was in college in Miami, I studied Muay Thai for 2 years under Master Kong, which he's trained a few Muay Thai champions. So I'm not some crazy champion, but I do love martial arts. And I went on a 3-year streak where I pretty much kicked some fucking ass all throughout the state of Oklahoma.
Fucking nice. Yo, don't be so modest, man.
I got my ass kicked a lot, but
yeah, it's rough, right?
I got to a point where I kind of found my groove, and yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. Nice.
But they are my mentors, so I speak with them like almost on a daily.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Even if it's just an audio message or something.
Yeah.
And I do what they fucking tell me to do.
Yeah, it's good to have mentors, man.
Yeah.
It's an important thing. I think, at least. I mean, I actually didn't get like any sort of mentor until I was older, but yeah, it's a good thing to have.
It's important. They know more than us. They've been there.
Right, they do.
So, you guys, if you're gonna find a mentor, find someone that is where you want to be in life. Find someone that's been there and done that. Don't take financial advice from a broke person, and don't take business advice from anyone that has never built a business or has never even tried to build a business. So,
fucking facts. Eat that shit up. It's super true. That's why I can't. Actually, you know what? That's why I'm going to mention again. That's why I can't stand watching some of these videos online, especially people who are like poster boys now. And I'm just like, I can't see anything in your resume that's making me want to fucking watch you just because you got to wherever somehow and sold some shit. Like, it's all in the resume for me. So I feel you, man. I'm like, I would never take advice from that fucking person. Like, sorry, say whatever you want about me, unfollow me, I don't go fuck.
Yeah. Just if you wanna see my work or see how the fucks we get down, just go to my Instagram and look at my reels, and you see how we get down. We don't play around.
That's what I mean, right? It's like you can't. Whatever. Just don't take advice on. Sam says, don't take advice on paint from TikTok. I would agree with that. Don't do it on TikTok. TikTok's terrible. You on TikTok at all? No, good for you, man. Good.
I only do Instagram because it seems to work. I have been able to build a portfolio on it, which I learned from your podcast.
Thank you.
And if you use it strategically, which I also learned from your podcast,
thank you very much.
You can get work, and you end up selling work to people that only fucking want you. They don't want 3 estimates. They want you because they've been watching you.
Yeah, man.
And that's what they want, and they don't care how much it costs. They just want you.
Fucking, you tell them, Henry. This is what I've been fucking trying to tell people, and sometimes I feel like people actually aren't even listening to me. Like, honestly, sometimes I'm just like, that is not, like, and I'm not this be-all, end-all on someone you have to take advice from, but it's like, if you can't realize that genuine following will help you more than anything, and people, they just want the fluff and numbers, but whatever. If it's sales, if they want tire kickers, they want all that, that's fine too. And there's definitely an area for that with these types of, platforms. That's great. But I got out of that a long time ago. Like, I didn't want to be doing like 20 estimates a week and like literally land like 0.5 of one.
It's a waste of time and energy.
It's just fucking, yeah, it's dumb. When did you last cry? That's one of my favorite questions on there. Definitely
when my daughter was born, because I felt like I didn't deserve that.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I've done some dumb shit in the past, and I haven't been always the really nice, Henry that everybody knows. And I just, when she was born, I was like, I don't deserve her innocence and her beauty and how sweet she is. And she loves me so much and will love me no matter what. And I just felt like, wow, you know.
Fucking. Whew.
Other than that, it was like when I broke my leg.
Yeah.
Not because I broke my leg, not because of the pain, but like the fucking depression after the second week of being like, wait a minute. Oh shit, this shit's fucking for real.
Oh, fuck. Dude, like once again, good for you. I tip my hat to you, man. Pounds all day, because like fuck, like I said, I just hurt my leg. Well, I mean, I didn't have to get surgery, but it was enough to put me out, and I was just like, holy fuck. It actually was really a big eye opener. So I'm like, what would I fucking do? Like what would my workers do? But actually, it was a great lesson too, because it actually put the ball into their court, where I was like, if you want to keep working and you want to continue to do this, you're going to have to help me right now. Papa Danny can't be here to fucking powder your guys' butts all the time. So yeah, man, I just was, you know what? I have trouble with that sometimes because I'm a little OCD, and I would literally was just like, fuck it. Let's just see what happens to the wind, man. Let's just scary too. Scary too, bro. All right, man. Well, that's it. I think that's all of them. Yeah, it just says advice. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for coming on, man. I loved chatting with you, and I'm glad that we finally got to do this. But I do want you to, take us away with a little piece of advice for anyone starting out a family, anyone that was in your position, anything you want to say to help, the fellow painter.
Yeah. First of all, if you're going to start a paint company, please know how to fucking paint. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be a dick. Just there's so much that goes into it to do it right. Do it slow. Google some business shit. Find somebody that or someone that has a business, and just learn some basics. Learn some basic accounting online. Advertise and don't give up. There's going to be a lot of no's in the beginning. A lot of people are going to tell you no, and it's hard to, whenever you've never had people tell you no and you have to feed the family, it's hard to swallow all that. So just keep pushing and don't give up. If this is what you want to do, don't give up. If you find yourself questioning yourself all the fucking time, this ain't for you. Every now and then, yes, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, ride the wave.
If you have like zero confidence and you're constantly questioning yourself, it's okay to not be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said that too. Everyone has its place, man. Like everyone has their place. And it's okay if you're heading a company, somebody else's company or something, whatever it might be. Like that's okay too.
Slow and steady. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah. Never give up. Hone in on your craft, man. Because I
love that.
Well, it's true.
That's
why it was one of my first, because I was like, whoa, I think some of these motherfuckers are missing the point here. Like, just like you said, I'm like, yo, like, don't bite off too much. Like, learn first, So my advice that I always give to people is save your money, and then actually, like, if you wanted to kind of get into what I was doing, I'd say subcontract.
Yeah.
Go work for somebody, fuck up on their dime, learn those lessons, and then when you think you're ready, like I said in that show that I was just on, like it was a reminder. It took me almost 16, 17 years to get to where I am, and I probably could have got there sooner, bro, and I'm glad I didn't, because like I didn't want to chew off something and I was like, oh, I just fucked myself by rushing.
You might not be where you are right now.
Exactly, by rushing, right? Yeah. So yeah. Great advice though, man. Absolutely. Baby steps, slow and steady. Those little steps, they make big things happen. So I agree with you.
My martial arts instructor told me this, and so did Shade from Turner Painting whenever I was in recovery. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, baby.
Yeah, somebody just wrote that on here. El Clasico.
That's my little brother, bro.
Oh, that's your bro. Oh,
That's my fucking bro.
what up, bro?
That's the homie right there.
I see. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Yeah, man. Fucking A.
Man. Yeah,
Well,
bro.
you guys keep rocking it, man, and big ups to you, and always much respect, man. And
Thank you.
be proud of yourself, bro. Yeah,
I will. I will.
that's just hard, man. Like I said, I was there, small family, one kid, next kid, company, ups, downs, like fuck, man. And then we've chatted about personal stuff, you know, my side of my family stuff. Like what we do is not easy, man. And if it was, every motherfucker would be doing it. So.
And that means a lot coming from you and some of the other guys that hit me up and shit and recognize what we're doing. So I appreciate you guys because we're definitely putting everything into it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good though, man. And, you know, it'll pay off for you, bro. I know it will.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. It's good to be talking to you on here, man. And of course, you already know we'll talk behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And everyone stay tuned because I have a couple other episodes that'll be popping up, and that'll clear up the editing space so I can edit this one right away, and then it'll be up there on Real Paint Talks of PSC for all you to listen to. Once again, Paint Oklahoma
on Instagram.
Yeah, what's that?
The dopest podcast on Instagram.
Oh, sweet. Well, actually, there's. I was looking the other day. There's actually been quite a few other things that have been coming up in terms of like not just painting podcasts, but other great shows.
Oh yeah. And real quick, I just want to shout out Paint Sniffers.
Yes,
John
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
If you're a painter watching this podcast, definitely go listen because they're no fluff, no bullshit.
Yeah, very no fluff, no bullshit, man. Absolutely. And it's what you're gonna need because it's a fucking dog eat dog, cutthroat, ruthless fucking world out there, especially in the trade industry. So I appreciate that. It's like, it was funny because I put up that video of me doing that Foo Fighters cover, and Aaron actually messaged me. He was like, "This is awesome. This is like Justin Bieber. If Justin Bieber was mixed with post pop." And then I had to write back to him like, I don't know if you're being serious right now or not. Like, is that a compliment? I'm not sure, you know, because he's kind of like that, right? I'm like, oh, is this guy totally chewing me out right now? But he was like, no, man, no, it was all good. It was good, this and that. But yeah, you know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely,
so.
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to both of them. Aaron is the big bro. You can learn a lot from Alpha. A lot of people don't like him.
There's not a lot of people out there that and I've said this many times before, that like I'm like the old school painter that's literally like, yeah, I think we're good. I don't think we need to thin it. Like, no, this guy is like, yo, fucking kilopascals on this, and like he knows like all the details, the specs, the product, the fucking substrate, and I'm just like, damn, I need to fucking get up on my game on that for sure.
If you think you know paint, Aaron will fucking shit on you.
Dude, that's, and I'm not like that with tools either. Like really, like, you know, I'm just like, does it sound right? Does it look right? Does it feel right? You know, like, no, we're good. You know, just straight up, no, we're good, man.
I love it.
All right, Henry, I won't keep you too longer, man. You go, you be with your family, and much love. Big ups to you and your family and your little bro, and you guys keep smashing it, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. Much love to you. And,
yeah, absolutely.
We'll keep talking.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, much love. Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.
Everybody.
Later, dude. Have a good night.
You too, brother.
All right, Henry from Payne, Oklahoma. Great guy. Great guy. So if I sporadically decide to do this again at some point, El Clasico. Peace, man. You keep grinding, all right? Do it. And yeah, if I sporadically get these out there, thank you for everyone for listening and always tuning in, and I'll do my best to get some other stuff out there. There he is. There's Alpha right there. Speak of the devil, we were just complimenting your superior paint knowledge on products, bro. But yeah, so stay tuned for that one, and much love, and thank you all to who've tuned in And yeah, stay tuned because I'm gonna try and pump some more stuff out when I'm not so busy. All right, y'all. Much love. Have a good night.